when we last left off, last week, the group of you had finally gotten back to Saltmarsh after all this time, and had discovered that there is an alliance heading down, involving the lizard folk from, you met in the Dunwater, and the merfolk, and the third race whose name is eluding me right now. It's like Low something or another.
Lokatha.
Okay. Lokatha. There we go. And I have a cat sitting on my notepad again. This is why I usually close the door before I let things in, but yeah, she was already in here waiting. Anyway, so you got there early in the day because it basically is an overnight trip between the city state of Oron and the small village, the fishing town village of Saltmarsh to the north of it. So it's still early in the day, and you guys discovered that there is actually a meeting that afternoon after the lunch period is coming on. I do believe you actually did go back and talk to Ada, the councilwoman that you've previously had dealings with.
Yep.
And one of you was helping out one of the merfolk, who unfortunately had also gotten into the square a bit too early and found that she couldn't move very well. She was not very happy with that. But anyway, Erin, I believe she introduced herself as, is currently, I believe, hanging out with you guys. So, what would you guys like to do today?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
If I recall, Cogsworth and Fumble are with the merwoman, yes, Aaron?
Yeah. Oh, you're the ones helping out Erin. Yes.
Yep.
Where else would I be?
I don't know if Grizz wanted the downtime to happen while we were gone, and we just snap our fingers and all be back together at the meeting, or if there was stuff going on with the group.
Well, one of there is going to be downtime. For one thing, you guys need to get Lobu up to speed once Lobu shows up. And sadly, he's going to be a little late. I was actually counting on him showing up before that because of something. But since he isn't, we're going to play it off as this is going to be interesting because you're the ones with Aaron and you're heading to the square. Yes.
We were dropping them off, Aaron off at the ship.
Okay, you're heading back to you're escorting her back to the to her seaweed patch. That's right.
Yeah, whether she just wants us to support
ducks.
her weight or carry her back,
Yeah,
it's up to her. This is much help she needs.
Helping support her weight because she's like, she's really annoyed about being out there, and she knows that, yeah, she's grudgingly like, yeah, I can't move very fast on land. So being helped is appreciated. So you guys are helping with that. Good. Lubu, you're here. Oh, good.
I'm here.
Yay! Are you driving?
Yeah, on my way. I'll be on Roll20 in like 5.
Okay, no, I'll just wait till you're actually here to reintroduce where your character is. So Noxie, Topaz, Volin, and Dread. What are the four of you dudes doing?
Go to the bar.
You're heading back to your favorite bar.
I'm so confident.
Sorry. Oh, that's right, because I put that notepad in my actual notebook. The Black Wolf.
I would have thought it would be called the OK Coral.
No. There's several bars in town. Well, one of them is the Black Wolf. That's the one where you spend a lot of time in. There's also the one that you had some dealings with, but you suspect it to be a pirate hangout.
The Empty Net?
Yeah, the Empty Net. So, which bar did you go to?
I don't know, how feisty is Topaz feeling today?
get into a fist fight with a bunch of pirates?
Noxie, shut up.
No, not really.
That was Liam. That wasn't Noxie. Noxie can't speak.
She can hold
No.
up signs.
Heading to the Black Wolf.
Alright. So you get in, and the typical bushy bearded human is standing behind the bar. And he kind of grins toothily at you guys as you enter. Hey, yeah, I remember you guys. How's it going? He kind of like looks Topaz up and down, and Volan, I'm assuming you're with her?
Yep.
And Volan spreading a huge grin. There was a lot of excitement last time you were in here with the two of you.
What'd we do?
I don't remember.
Isn't this where?
Where what, Noxie?
She's like mid writing, and then like she freezed as she was like mid.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
Wasn't this where you two?
What?
Finish the sentence, Noxie.
She just rips the sign in half.
Right.
Rum.
right.
Give us rum. I don't know what you're insinuating.
Alright. And he, like, pulls out a little glass and starts filling it up and puts the bottle on the table.
Now I'm
It's
racking
nice
my
having you
brain.
guys
Wait a
laugh.
minute. What the? I don't know what we did.
Oh no,
Didn't-
nothing bad. Well, okay, so the room was a bit more of a mess than our cleaning staff is used to, but still, it was kind of entertaining.
I remember now. Yeah, sorry about that.
Not a problem.
Side note, should we be drinking before a war briefing?
Best time.
Yeah, okay.
War briefings are boring.
So you came back for the briefing, did you? We've been talking about this this war council for days now. It's actually brought some more business to town. The bar's been busy. That's why I got some rum now, more than just the whiskey I usually have.
What have you heard about the War Council?
Well, not sure if you know if you knew this, but from what I hear, and he kind of leans forward on the bar, that apparently the Sahagin are held up in the jagged rocks, not too far south from here. The ones that poke out of the mountainside.
Do I know about that? Or do any of us know about that?
Roll a general history check, guys.
Can anyone?
There are no rocks there. Don't
Well,
be ridiculous.
Volan, and Nuxie, it's kind of surprising that your navigator of all people wasn't paying attention both times sailing between Orin and Saltmarsh, of not noticing the fact that the Argantha Mountains extend slightly into the water, forming this weird collection of jagged rocks, which all navigators have to then steer around.
Topaz, are you fucking kidding me?
What?
There's no words. There's no words to describe how I feel. I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna talk about it. Yeah. Well, so where did you hear this? Kind sir.
Well, I see. Those lizard folk decided to come in here. They didn't really trust the sort down at the empty net, so they came to my fine establishment, and I happened to overhear them talking about it at one point, until they realized that they were speaking in Common and switched over to Draconic. I don't think they cared that I was overhearing. It was just more like, well, wait a minute, why are we speaking in common? We're not talking to anybody but ourselves. Sort of thing. He laughs. But still, they were saying something about how their home that got overtaken by Sahagin was down there.
How many?
Well, nobody knows. Sure how many Sahagin there are down there. I imagine there's either sent somebody out or sending somebody out to do some scouting.
Probably going to be us.
Oh, really? Hey, he leans forward. If you do some scouting, do you think you maybe bring back some of the lizard folk things, like maybe something booze related from there? Not the lizard folk realizing it, of course. Like I can hide it behind the bar, put it in a different bottle, all that.
You want us to steal lizard folk booze from the
Well,
place taken over by the Sahagin?
Well, if you happen to salvage some, I'd be willing to pay for it.
If we come across some, I'm sure we could help you out.
Excellent. Anything else I can do for you?
Just out of curiosity, any interesting ghost stories since we've been here, or
Nah.
no?
They said that everything up in the that old house is all quiet now.
Damn it. Okay. No, I think other than that, we'll just drink in peace.
All right. And with that, we can switch over to Lobu and Fumblesworth. If Lobu is ready.
I'm ready.
Excellent.
Yay!
So, Lobu, you were hanging around the ship for a while. You swam around through the bay. Noticed that there were those those cutesy people. I just threw up a handout of them. Literally just the other day. Come on, don't. The art handouts. Where are the art handouts? Nope, that's not the one. Here we go. The Locanth, which I will show a picture of again.
Lokenpa.
Yeah. You saw a bunch of them in the bay with a giant eel, and they kind of waved to you. Apparently they're here for, a conference. You also saw... Oops.
I need one of the seals that's in that picture with the Locantha.
You've already got a pet!
Squish is lonely.
Squish
Yes,
is
have the
spawning.
fungus monster.
Squish needs his squash.
If you're not careful, he's gonna get squashed.
That sounds like a crab. Merfolk. You also see merfolk in the bay. In fact, one is, as you're coming back to the docks, just jumps into the water. Apparently she was actually wandering up on the shore, trying to get along on there. And as you pop your head out, to seal that, you happen to see Fumblesworth, who apparently had been helping this poor merfolk back to the water.
Oh, hey. How you guys doing?
We were just giving her. We'll be bringing her back to some meeting in the afternoon.
I just came along for the ride.
Gonna be snacks? Or,
Snacks?
Or what? What are we talking about?
Did someone say snacks?
She said that there were snacks in the plaza.
Hell yeah.
She said cupcakes.
I'm down.
I opened my chest.
Oh yeah,
Speaking
she
of
also
cupcakes,
my chest.
would you like a cupcake?
Heck yeah.
Uh,
Pass me one of them sweeties.
do you want cinnamon, blueberry, or chocolate?
No fish? What's the point? I
I
guess,
slam the chest shut. Then fine.
I guess
Not that he
that's
had a fish for
So
much
it's-
longer than she should have.
Come on, Lober doesn't deserve it.
Well, where are we going?
To find a
Oh,
fish
cupcakes
cupcake.
aside.
There's apparently
Yeah,
a
I'm
cupcake
down.
shop in the plaza. Maybe we can find your fish cupcake.
Didn't I just buy a bunch of cupcakes from there? No, I bought them at the other place.
About an orange.
All, 3 dozen?
Don't feel too bad. He worshipped it, remember?
And how many ended up on Topaz's face?
The one.
Wow. Topaz can't catch.
That doesn't sound like Topaz. Was she drunk?
No.
Fumble assaulted her with a cupcake.
Fumble stretches her arm. I guess I just threw it a little hard.
You're welcome.
It was great, though. It was great. You missed it.
Where are the others?
I will give you one guess.
Oh, the bar. Good point.
So where would you like to go, Livu? Are you going to the square, or are you heading to the bar?
Could I go to the square by way of or go to the bar by way of the square? Stop
Sure.
off and accost some poor pastry merchant for a fish cupcake?
All right. So it's just a couple, not very far from the docks is of course the square. You've been here before, and as you get into the square, you see a rather familiar looking stand with a nice purple cloth on it and a rather colorful woman standing behind it with corkscrews of pink and purple hair, pink and blue hair. And when she looks up from her rather large display of cupcakes, she locks eyes with you and she smiles brightly. Oh, Lubu, sweetie, hello! It's been a while.
It's been a really long time. Give me a cupcake. Fish
And
cupcakes.
she reaches hands out and takes his hands and holds them tightly. Ah, yes. Those fish cupcakes are very popular with the various underwater folk. And she hands you a fish cupcake.
Thank you very much. It was Carly, right?
Yeah, of course, Carly. And she points at the sign that says Carly's Cupcakes.
I was just thinking about how we've done you such a solid right now. These have got to be going like hotcakes.
Well, you're the one that helped me with the recipe. Don't forget that, sweetie. And she taps his nose.
You still dealing in sweet magic gear?
And she leans forward. Ooh, yes, but shh. Right now, it's just the cupcakes on the surface. If you want some magic gear, we'll talk, okay?
Will do. I'll find you later.
Ooh, yes. And she hands you another fish cupcake. Don't forget to hand that over to Topaz with my compliments. It's been a while. I
Absolutely.
know she likes these.
Bolin and Topaz are going to be so jazzed that you're in town. They've done nothing but trust you this whole time, I'm sure.
Oh, well, they are sweet people, aren't they? And not as sweet as you.
Aw. All right.
And she kind of glances over at the Warforged that's standing behind him. The Fumblesworth, you've followed Lebu, I thought.
Yep.
Though we will be heading back towards the coastline in the afternoon to escort her back.
And who's your friend here? I really like the eyes. She kind of smiles.
Thank you. Say something.
Sometimes I wonder if it's our best feature.
Oh, there's two of you! Oh, this is even more exciting! 2 people in one body! Isn't that incredible? Oh,
Incredibly annoying.
And she comes out from behind her stand and just kind of looks you over. She's wearing these skirts that are also in pink and blue coloring. Just kind of trailing down past her knees.
Wait, did you say pink and blue?
Yep. Pink and blue, and she's got, let's see. Let me read out the description. Let's see. So right now, she's basically just got... What?
The same shade of pink and blue?
Yeah. The same shade as her hair. Pink and blue striped hair. And yeah, I guess like your eyes.
I was thinking...
But her eyes are purple, by the way. What's like the shade of the cloth that's over her cupcake stand? But you are lovely. And she kind of reaches up and grabs your face your warforged head in her hands. Cogsworth. Not fumble, but Cogsworth. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Alright, just checking something. Everything's fine.
Do you think that's supposed to calm me down?
And why the f didn't I roll one?
Probably a memory or something.
Everything's fine.
Nothing is more concerning than when you're sharing a body and the DM says one of you needs to roll this. Just one of you, not the other one. You roll it. And
I'd like to point out you guys had a conversation in my head without me. So I feel a little violated.
Anyway, she smiles. So, this is just very fascinating. How did you get stuck in there, sweetie? And she's looking right into the pink eye socket.
long story short, I was sacrificed. He came to try to save me. He was too late. He prayed to his patron that he'd do anything to help me, and so my soul got sucked into his body, and we were asleep for 500 plus years.
Aww.
Currently working on getting her body back, but it's going to be a little bit of an investment, say.
Well, there are a few ways of going about that.
Expensive ways.
Yes. Yes. Unless, of course, you can get yourself a wish. Sometimes a wish can help.
If only.
I wish we had a wish.
It doesn't work like that, sweetie.
I know.
She taps you on the nose. She taps
Worth it.
you where your nose should be.
You just feel Fumbles like her spirit just turned to you like the fuck.
It's like the eye just kind of turns in the socket 90 degrees towards
Yeah,
the blue.
like,
Good
I do agree,
old
Lobo.
trustworthy Carly.
And I love you too, Lobu. You're so cute. She just hugs you and goes back behind her pastry stand. Keep being you, Lobu. Keep being you.
Right back at you.
And don't forget to give that cupcake to Topaz.
Will do.
Apparently we need to come back later. So, to make sure I heard correctly, your name was Carly?
Oh yes, Carly. Yep. And right now I'm running a cupcake stand because my cupcakes are very popular, and that's all thanks to this guy. And she gestures at Lobu.
Yeah. I supplied the first fish.
Yep.
why does that not surprise me?
To make
Speaking of fish-
incredible fish cupcakes.
Speaking of fish, Lobu, can you help me fish up some food for Squish?
For sure.
Thank
I'd love
you.
to.
Great.
Another
Reminds me.
totally uncontroversial non-player character.
Just remind me, I need...
Are you making fun of Squish?
No.
What I thought. I'll put him in your room and make him spore everywhere.
I don't know. He looks like truffle.
Oh my god. I'm with Volan now. I've taken 1d4 psychic damage.
All right.
So what were you saying, dear?
But from what I've heard, apparently in the evenings you whip up a fresh batch that some say is magical.
Oh, you're interested in magic, are we? Well, after this little meeting that everybody's having, and after I finish selling my cupcakes here, I imagine those folks will have an appetite. Why don't you come by and see me?
I'll make sure to bring Bolin along. She's becoming apparently a ghost hunter.
Oh, excellent! I'm glad she's doing well. And she hands you a very nice chocolate cupcake with pink sprinkles on it. Why don't you give this to Volan for me?
Can do. And I'm gonna lean over to Lobo and say, "Are you actually gonna give that other cupcake to Topaz?"
Oh, totally. Because otherwise she'd find out about it. And she might hit me.
Oh.
And And then Kylie taps her nose a moment and says, let's see. There's still a pretty tiefling woman with you, right?
Oh yeah,
Dread?
Dread.
Ah, yes. Let's not forget about her. And she hands over 2 more chocolate cupcakes. Make sure she's eating right. She's a lovely woman, but she has a lot of dark secrets.
She darn near took a vampire on her own.
Well, that's not chit chat. Let's go.
Oh my god. Oh god. Anyway, sorry.
Let's go to the bar. Come on, it's drinking time. Cogsworth, Fumble. Come on.
So by the time, yes.
I'm gonna take the keyboard away from you.
You haven't even seen that episode.
And I've only seen up through season 3 because I wait for them to get on Hulu.
The Jerry daycare from season 1.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much because I love Jerry Daycare. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
and I used to have Rick and Morty pajamas, but they finally got too many holes in them and I had to throw them out.
Oh.
But
Did any of them get to C-137? It was a reference to the show.
my brain, I know my brain is just going blink, blink, blink.
You're fine.
My face is going blink, blink.
Anyway,
blink,
back in the tavern, Lopez finally. Sorry. Yeah,
Lopez?
Lobu.
They're celebrity couple Lopez.
No.
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 Lobu finally shows up
From the Twilight Zone.
along with Fumblesworth, and they have brand new cupcakes that were not bought in Orin.
Roland, I
And Dread.
have gifts for you.
And Dread.
Dread too.
Yes.
Dread
Yes.
has 2 gifts.
Yes, Dread has 2 gifts. I hand Dread the 2 cupcakes. Volan has 1.
They're very dark chocolate cupcakes.
I hand Volan the cupcake, and I whisper,
With pink
And I
sprinkles.
whisper, she only gave me 1, but I don't think it has anything to do with your 2 little piggies.
Thank you so much, Fumble.
You're welcome.
Early.
Mhm.
And you just see like this genuinely happy smile on Fumble's face. Like she just 0 clue.
It's good that they're looking out for you, babe.
Oh yeah. Mm.
Well,
Here's
someone
one for
here
you
needs to
too,
eat properly.
Topaz.
I think people were talking over each other. Libby, what'd you say?
Here's a cupcake from Carly. Topaz.
Oh,
It's fish.
Carly.
excellent. Carly's still around, huh?
Yeah, she's converted her shop into full-blown cupcake mania. Though she says we can buy magic junk from her after hours.
Maybe a certain budding ghost hunter would like to go and see their wares.
Carly. That Carly that said she was gonna stick with the lizard folk. That one.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm glad she's doing well.
good old trustworthy Carly.
Yep, never questioned her at all. Never failed every single inside check I've ever made against her. We're fine.
It's not like you know that you failed them in
I
character.
know. Just, I don't trust this woman.
Only out of character do you have that problem in character.
I mean, I guess I'm glad she's doing well. Maybe we don't purchase magic items from the eccentric woman who's traveling the world without any care. I just have a bad feeling.
But maybe she has something that can help me get my body back.
I really doubt it.
Actually, right on the side. She was a bit fishy.
She did seem a little half-baked.
My head really hurts.
And
for some
Noxie was
reason.
the only one who didn't get a cupcake from her.
I'm of the opinion there's more to meets the eye with her.
Noxie's
Yes.
already eaten a cupcake today.
Yeah,
You know- Have you heard the tales? I've heard stories. We even have them beneath the sea of gods who come down and assume a mortal form and play amongst the mortals, testing them in various ways. And if you were to tell me that Carly is one of those, I would not be surprised.
You believe Carly's a god?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
It'd be a good friend to have.
I'm gonna hand Volan another cupcake and say, maybe this will help. Are you just mad because you only got one?
I'm currently in possession of 3 cupcakes.
Fumble's gonna put it in her hand and just like tap her hand like, here's one more.
Okay.
Just
You're enabling.
Good, good, good.
You're
You can
enabling
use it
over
as
there.
ammo. You can throw it at Topaz.
There's no words. We're just. How is everything? How did you get Erin back to where she needed to be? Is everything good?
It went swimmingly.
You see the right hand come up and just like flick the left side of the head.
I thought it was the right side.
No, I'm the right side.
Okay. She abuses me with my own body. And I'm trying to get her body back.
Exactly. So the faster
Maybe-
we get my body back, the less I have to abuse you with your own body.
Or maybe abusing you with my body is not something you should do if you want me to continue getting you a body.
Do you want me out of here?
Yes,
Do you?
yes,
Do you really?
yes,
Do you?
yes.
I could be the most annoying bitch you've ever met.
Too late.
Yeah, that's kind of a running theme.
I would walk away. But because I'm a bigger person, I'm just going to stand here, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I can't walk away.
Yeah, that's a running theme too. Volan's
It's hard for you
definitely
to
the
be
bigger,
a bigger
person.
when you're quite literally inside of me.
Topaz, you need to be nicer to your lady.
I'm nice. She likes me this way, and she knows it.
I'm going
I-
to look
I-
at Volan.
Mm-mm. Anywho.
As long as we don't need to clean Noxie's room again. As long as we don't need to clean Noxie's room again, that was gross.
Well, as long
She
as Noxie
nods.
decides not to go on a power trip, we're fine.
I'm going to look at Noxie now. No more
She's-
cat and hat.
Is Volan wearing the captain's hat, by the way? Completely unrelated, but just want to know.
Good luck
Why
getting
do I-
6, 7 feet in the air.
Why do I feel like Noxie doesn't ever just want to know something?
Is that weird old drunk that told us about the haunted house sitting around?
That's a good question. Somebody roll me a 1d10.
Ooh.
9. Hold on, I'm trying to find the page that actually says that information. Hate when that happens. But yeah, no, it seems that that he is not here right now.
Hey, bartender, can I get a shot? Also, what happened to that creepy old drunk I liked so much?
A shot? What kind of shot do you want? And well, let's see. That creepy old drunk. Nah, he's gone elsewhere. I think he's gone fishing. Don't know if he'll be back.
Is he dead?
Well, we don't really know anymore. A few ships have gone missing in the last week. People go out fishing. They
Those
don't
shipping
come back.
vessels.
I'll take a rum, and could I do a retroactive insight check to see if that guy was more than he seemed?
The guy you're talking to right now?
The guy we met who told us about the.
Sadly, that would have
Ghost
had
house
to
in the
have
first-
been at the time. It's
Oh,
many
wow.
months too late for retroactive.
Well, he was wrong about just about everything.
That's true. Well, when's this meeting we're supposed to go to?
After lunch. So we're going to sit here and drink and get something to eat and then go over there, listen to them. And, basically what's going to happen is we'll give them all the information that we got about what's going on with the evil groups and freaking chaos rip in the islands, and then they're going to send us there and say, find out about the Sahag, and you watch and see. We will be the scouting party.
Why do we
And-
even
and-
bother talking to these people? We should just bust into everybody's houses and kick down the doors,
That sounds like a really good idea. We should do it underwater. See what happens. I mean, we were told that we wouldn't be able to take them on, but I have a feeling we could. Personally.
Well, they can't send us in and expect us not to fight everybody. I don't really
They're
understand.
sending
Do
us
they
in
know
on
it?
a scouting mission. Okay.
I was gonna say, isn't that the plan? They're
That's
sending us
literally
in
the plan.
expecting us not to fight.
I mean,
They told
Well,
us
they are
they couldn't
sending us
pay us really if we went in and started just killing things. Then they also told us we'd probably die, but
Well, I don't
It-
see Dovin around, so I don't really see another option.
I mean, if we do more than they ask, we could always try to bargain upgrades to your ship.
Sometimes you actually have okay ideas.
I'm sure Noxie wouldn't mind a few more crossbow 2.0s.
Or maybe a new barrel.
And a upholstered barrel.
A bigger barrel.
Noxie points, and then writes, and the sign says, "Now we're talking."
Barrel with wheels and spinners.
Ooh.
A barrel with wheels would not be unwanted, especially for to get her to the meeting easier.
I bet you Carly could hook you up with.
She's going very starry-eyed, just like
Man,
the ideas.
out of character. God damn it! Why are you like this?
What?
Stop it! You're not allowed to type anymore.
Ow.
Too bad we couldn't get Noxie a motorized barrel.
A motorized barrel.
Yeah.
Well, if you go down to Everest, you might be able to find stuff like that.
What is that?
That
It's
is
from
funny.
the the Storm King.
Mhm.
Was that a hill
And
giant?
it's a goblin hucker.
It's not an
They're
ogre.
ogres with
Yeah.
with catapults that shoot goblins.
Oh my god!
Did you
So
guys
they're-
see the Critical Role one shot that was set like 10 years after Vox Machina with the Darrington Brigade? Because that was the first thing I thought about when I thought about the ogre character in that. That was an hysterical one shot episode.
Still catching up on that
Ah.
that show.
I'm in my second playthrough of season 1, and I only started just over a year ago. But I happen to listen to things, although I'm restricting myself to one episode per day right now.
There's so many things
Yeah,
to watch. Never get to them all.
caught up on a couple of podcasts actually at this point. But
What time is it?
time
Okay.
here it is
In game.
not quite lunchtime, so it's like 10 a.m. something along those lines.
Tell you what else is really good, surprisingly, is Lucifer.
Yeah, I like that show.
I
Really
loved,
good.
I loved that show until it went to Netflix, and I've only been able to watch the first episode of the fourth season since then. It's like, I want to go back and watch more, but I didn't really like the twist that was being implied when they took it over.
No, I didn't have that history, so I'm just seeing
How
what's on Netflix.
how many people are in this bar right now?
It's mostly you guys plus the tender.
Were there a lot of people out in the square?
Yeah, there was a good, goodly amount of people out in the square.
I'm going to the.
I guess we are going to the square. Well, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make us a little bit of money.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go to the square and play some music.
All right, what instrument you pulling out?
I'm gonna pull out my bongos.
All right, roll your performance check.
Nice.
People actually stop and start listening, and you see a big beaming smile from your new friend Carly. She's like leaning on her stand and on the stand counter, and just like leaning on her elbows, chin in hands, just smiling at the group of you. Well, at you. It's only one of you. And you guys in the tavern can hear the sound of nicely played bongos drifting in. And by the time your performance is done, you discover you are 42 gold richer.
Wow.
Jesus fuck.
Damn.
So
Where'd that come from?
One or
There's
two.
that many people in here.
Oh, sorry. You're right. 99.
Well, some of it was Carly coming over and dropping an unknown amount of coins in your in whatever you have set out for coin donations.
Fumble gets up, does a nice little bow, and then I would say looks at Cogsworth, but that's kind of impossible. So, what now?
I actually need to talk with Carly real quick. She might be able to assist us with our current situation.
She's there giving more cupcakes over to couple lizard folk who have come in.
Don't take that scary bitch's money. She's a fed. I know it.
You're in the bar. You can't talk to Fumble from here.
Oh, don't take that dirty money.
Well, out of character, if it makes you feel any better, I'm totally not about to see if she's willing to buy the mushrooms off of my person. So yeah, once we're all said and done, and her bongos are packed away, Fumblesworth will walk back towards Carly's stand.
Carly smiles. That was some pretty nice music.
Thank you.
It's all her.
It is. He doesn't have talent like this.
She hits bongos, I hit skulls.
Even so, you managed to produce some lovely music from that body. And it's quite a nice and very old body, isn't it?
Apparently older than I know.
How far back do you remember?
Few days. I was damaged a long time ago, about the time that she got into my friend.
Oh, that's quite a pity.
We're working on getting her body back, as I said.
Perhaps you'll remember more of yourself once you do get your body, once she gets her body back.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
But I actually had a small proposition given what you said your trade is by night.
Well, that was a little joke from Loibu, but it's basically things that I also have been known to sell. I'm just currently selling cupcakes because that's what the people want.
Mm-hmm. From what it sounds like, you're rather well traveled.
Mm-hmm.
I recently came upon a rather sizable store of supplies that can be used to make healing potions and the like. But given everything that's going on, I don't really have time to produce. Do you know anyone that might be able to take them off my hands?
Well, I don't know anybody particularly, but I can always stock up on some more some more herbalism supplies and sell them to people that are interested.
Unfortunately, I'm a little rusty in that myself. I wasn't able to produce anything particularly potent, but they do seem to be effective.
A little rusty in more things than your craft. What? What?
So,
Nothing. I'm not looking at you.
what do you want to sell?
And I will pull out the bag full of mushrooms.
Ooh.
As much of this as you're willing to take off my hand.
Oh. She takes the bag and looks into it, gives it a sniff. Are these vegapygmy spores? Sporing. God, my brain is not getting a word. Spore amplifiers.
Possibly. I'm not aware of the word for it, but Fumble, the woman happens to be inhabiting my frame with me, recently adopted whatever animal it is that the Vegapygmies have as their companion.
Well,
And it began to spore
they're also vegapygmies. The type is it's called a thorny.
Thorny. She calls it Squish.
His name is Squish.
That's an appropriate name. Well done.
He's a good boy.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to allow them to mature, given that the ship is not ours. So they were removed from the ship and handed off to one of our crew members.
I see.
They seemed hungry at the time, but I don't know what they're doing. And I decided to make use of the mushrooms. They seem to have very powerful restorative properties.
Well, they would, considering they're essentially a growth medium. So,
True.
I like what Poland
True.
says. But anyway, Carly looks at her and
Standing
says,
mushrooms only.
"Well, these are these could help make healing potions." She thinks. How much would you say was here?
By my count, about 12 potions worth.
12 potions. All right. She thinks for a moment. Oops. I'm gonna need a calculator for this. 1 second. Let me get my calculator up. Sorry. Okay. Hold on. Times. Well, I would be willing to give you 150 gold for this pouch.
That's acceptable.
She hands you over 150 gold, and she takes the pouch of mushrooms. You're welcome to come back if you happen to grow and harvest more.
I'll see what I can do. Apparently we will be coming back shortly.
Fumble's eye, like her part of the face gets real wide, like.
No, we fed him.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Lobu fetched us a singular fish. The rest were for everyone else.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess we'll go check on Squish tonight then.
Like I said, I need to get some kind of driftwood or something. Hopefully that will be sufficient to spore on.
Well, if you're talking about vegapygmies, and this is where Carly interrupts you, they spawn on meat. They don't actually spawn on vegetation. Driftwood
Does it
won't help you there.
does it have to be like fresh meat?
Fresh meat's good, but it can be rotting meats.
We can head to the fishery. Bulk up.
Mm.
But we'll need to get permission from Volan, of course. It's her ship.
Yeah, but she said I could keep Squish if I took care of him.
Yeah, but
Giving
Volan
you-
needs to know what's going on in her ship.
Ah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're most welcome. And then she looks carefully and leans forward. By the way, is there still a goblin traveling with you? I forgot to ask, Libu that.
A little quiet one?
Yes.
Yes,
Tell her to come see me if she has a moment.
sure.
Okay, I'm starting to get a weird vibe off this lady.
That's spooky.
Cogsworth thinks she's eccentric but precious.
I mean, I'm a little weirded out by this lady. Can I see it? Can I roll something to see if I have a reason to be?
Called an insight check.
I'm gonna do that.
Do you feel it in your jellies, dear?
I feel it in my jellies. 21.
Ooh. Hold on. I'm going to whisper something to you.
Do I need to not look?
Well, I don't think it's gonna... Who knows?
I'd tell
Well,
you anyway.
Message it to her.
So.
Oh. It's like, if it needs to be secret, message it to her in Discord.
Ah, good point. I'll do that.
We're on my Discord, dear.
I know, but I can just not look when you read it.
True.
I need to heat up your popcorn anyway because
Yeah!
you get hungry at the best of times.
I do.
Popcorn.
I know. Means I can eat all of it and not feel guilty.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. No. No.
Okay, so did Noxie hear that Carly wanted to see her?
No, you're still
Yeah.
in the bar
Tell
and
me.
Carly's out in the square.
Okay.
Let me know.
Hold on. Spell checker. Come
Why
on.
does Lobu always want to bet things?
Gambling addiction.
What's he betting?
I just out of game, out of character.
You can always type it in
I-
an Ollaras on the water if you want. In the in
Okay.
our Discord thread.
Cool.
Sweet little boy. Sweet silky boy. Alright, so I whispered over to Fumble about that.
Yes, you did. So, Carly, I hear that you're a world traveler. Is that right?
Oh yes, I love going across the world, seeing what I can see, doing business. There's all sorts of interesting things out in the world, you know.
I mean, I don't really know because I don't remember ever. I mean, I don't remember where I was born. What's been your favorite place?
That's a good question. There's so many. What can I say? My favorite places, other than of course right here, right now with you selling cupcakes. She gestures again to the cupcakes. Let me think. There are some just lovely places. You ever been to Glamour Pool?
Have we?
What?
Glamour Pool.
Have we been to Glamour Pool?
Yeah.
That would be up to the DM for my memories, but the player has been to Glamour Pool.
Roll an a history. We'll go with a history
History
check.
or-
Yeah.
Well, I don't have proficiency in history, so it's the same. Hey. Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it. And she doesn't fake. She doesn't fake children, so don't worry. I'm not quite that.
Right.
She's not evil. Well, at least she's not evil like that. But yeah, I do like that idea that you as a player is freaked out at the very thought that she might be that.
If we've been eating children this whole time, and like a lot of children, yeah, it'd be a mess.
No.
Oh my God.
This isn't Curse of Strahd. If this was Curse of Strahd, that would definitely be the case.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to Glamour Pool.
And Cogsworth, that
Mhm.
thing, well, doesn't ring a bell with Fumble. You have this vague memory of a place when she said Glamour Pool, and you just kind of remember a night with smoke and screams and a dragon. That's all you can piece together. It's weird.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but not particularly.
Well,
Like a memory outside of.
well, it was nice talking to you. We should probably get back to the others, but we'll be around.
Don't forget.
And we'll knock you to come by.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As we're walking away, I am going to tell Cogsworth this.
Well, she seems precious to me. Eccentric, but precious.
Uh-huh. So do you want to go back to the bar?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. So we'll go back to the bar before going to Aaron, because I'm sure it's about time.
Well, it's getting close to. It's just past 11 now. So
Oh,
a
okay.
couple more people are filtering into the bar.
Sorry,
And they
too used to
notice
Caleb time.
they notice. Yeah, they're noticing. Fumblesworth again and are nodding, saying, "Hey, great performance," and are starting to settle in at the bar.
Thank you.
And you come into a conversation about pressure and water and blowing things up, apparently, between Topaz and the others. And
I'm
something
gonna walk
about a
over
bag
to
of holding.
Volin. I'm gonna walk over to Volin and speak quietly next to her. Hey, you know that Carly chick?
Yes.
Something's not right.
I don't know, she seems precious.
Shut up!
Also, Noxie, she said hi. She was hoping you could come by and talk to her at some point.
She's mischievous and calculating, and there's just something she's not.
I told you she's a god or something.
I mean-
Are we talking about the same Carly? The Carly I know is
She got
very
the mushrooms off
trustworthy.
Look, I don't
Hun-
think she's ever
I'm-
directly lied to me, but it's just something rubs me the wrong way. So
And I don't know that she's a bad person. It's just a little off-putting.
she's a little too kind, and it's unsettling.
Dread, have you ever
Because
tried
she's
to...
putting her chaotic plans into action by toying with the realm of mortals. I'm telling you, it's all going to come out in the wash. Mark my words.
I'll bet you 5 gold
I'll take that
What
as odds.
that she's not?
that she's not. This is insane.
Oh yeah, because everything that we've seen so far has been completely sane and
What?
normal.
I'm gonna have to go with Topaz on this one.
We
Okay.
just came from a fucking dungeon, a never-ending dungeon, with talking crayfish and slugs and baboons for no fucking reason all over the place.
Yeah.
I actually have a question.
Shoot,
Mm.
man.
Given her sense of style, and you say there's more to her than meets the eye. What if she's distantly related to Claire?
I'm gonna Look at Topaz like, oh fuck.
Dredge, you ever try to vibe Carly? You know how you do that weird voodoo? Tell if someone's bad news.
I haven't tried, no. 'Cause I haven't felt any bad vibes from her, so.
Wait, are you insinuating that Carly is also from future past?
Great, we got another future past bitch on our hands.
I mean, I'm from the past. Supposedly, I'm thousands of years old.
Yeah, but for some reason you don't make me as uncomfortable as she does. So,
But see, you do make her uncomfortable.
Alright,
Good
but I-
fucking going.
well,
Yes, it's the fact that I'm over 1,000 years old that unsettles.
I'm
It's
sure
not
that-
the it's not the two voices.
And what's Noxie doing?
Noxie building this. I'll put an end to this. And
What
she'll
does
do
that
this.
mean?
I'll see for myself. And then she starts to walk out, slightly drunk, outside of the bar.
Oh
Roll-
no!
Where is she going?
Noxie, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm going to follow Noxie out.
I'm gonna follow
Alright.
too, but not to stop her. I
Yep,
just want to see what's gonna happen.
Noxie is definitely
What does
weaving
it
in
do?
drunkenness.
Oh, are you a drunk? Are you a future past bitch?
And thankfully, Dread is right behind her to keep her from falling over.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're
Alright.
following. I just want to see what happens.
All right.
Go look for Carly.
Carly is in the square selling cupcakes. Most of her
Uh,
supply
if-
seems to be gone at this point.
Sorry. If I get an opportunity before Noxie leaves, can I cast enhance ability for charisma?
Sure. And you're casting this on Noxie?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and like do that little cross thing over my across my face and my shoulders, and pat Noxie encouragingly on the back. You go get him. They helm guide you and guidance. So you got a D4 on your next check.
Both enhanceability and guidance on Noxie. This
Hold
is
on, let
great.
me see what I got.
Oh no!
Hold on. Let me see what I got.
Bardic Inspiration! Come on, Bardic Inspiration!
Yep,
It's on your cord here.
yep, there it is.
And how would you like to inspire Noxie? How would you like? What would you like to say to her, or sing to her, or what?
It's the resource deer to the right. To the right. To the right.
I'm going left. Oh my god.
You should have. You only lost one. We
I
never
did.
refreshed it on
Yeah.
the rest.
I'm gonna tell Noxie. Noxie, you're the best, and I completely believe in you. You can do anything you put your mind to.
You feel inspired, Noxie. And is it a D8 for your level, or what? What's
Checking. Can you
what's the standard?
Google Bard DnD5? Getting that right now.
I want to say it's me.
Here's the base bardic inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
It's a D8.
Alright, so you also get a D8 of Bardic Inspiration for yours to use for the next 10 minutes.
All right.
A D4, a D8, and advantage. Don't screw this up.
What kind of check am I trying to make here? I'm gonna
I don't
find
know.
Carly.
Whatever.
Carly smiles and waves. Oh, hello, sweetie. Oh, and you brought your friends again. Hello.
Hello, Carly.
And how are you doing, Dread?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am quite well. Did you like the cupcake I sent along for you?
Yes, it was delicious.
I'm glad you liked it.
Well, I
And-
take it you did well in the lizard folk
Oh.
village.
Yes, quite well. And the diplomats decided to bring me here to bring me back. I came back with the other diplomats to here, and I've been selling the cupcakes that I helped make with you guys.
Moxie's gonna do her best attempt at an insight check.
All right, roll insight. You have a hands ability on that, and you
charisma.
have a insight. I believe is wisdom.
Insight's wisdom, if I recall.
Oh, it is.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
insight's wisdom.
But you also have the bardic inspiration you can use if you wish.
And
It's
guidance.
1d8 and guidance.
I'll use the guidance for this.
Okay. So you're gonna keep the inspiration for now.
For now, yeah.
All right.
Roll
30,
round that up to
20.
a 20.
So, like, you gaze at Carly. Carly gazes back at you, and she does seem to have an air of mischief about her. But she also looks like she really wants to give you something, and she is pulling a little pouch out, and she extracts from that pouch a small stone with a smiling face on it. I was thinking a lot about you, Noxie. And I was thinking this might help a bit. And she offers you the stone.
Moxie takes it and like inspects it.
Do I take anything upon divine sense from her?
Can you tell me what you're saying? Give me 1 second. I'm whispering something to Noxie. But also show me what you wish to do, please, Dread.
It's Strahd. We've been in Curse of Strahd the whole time. We never even knew.
No.
That puppet performance.
Okay. That's a good question. I'm trying to think for a moment, Dread. It just says celestial. It doesn't say. It just says celestial. It just says fiend. It says undead. It doesn't say anything about divine. It doesn't say anything about mortal. It doesn't say anything about elemental. It doesn't say anything about any of those other ones. Just celestial, fiend, or undead.
Right.
That's a good question. What this goes out for, or Fae for that matter. You wouldn't sense the presence of Fae either. But I am going to go with something. Oh yeah. Whisper. Hold on, something Dread. And I'm trying to get the spelling right. Sorry. And of course, my R key does not work. Well, it works sort of, but it keeps dropping when I'm typing stuff. So Carly reaches out and pats Noxie on the head after handing her that stone.
Noxie's eyes are watering. She's very happy with the gift.
I hope that helps you, sweetie.
She gives Carly a big hug.
And she smiles and winks over at Dread.
I smile back. I hope you do well here in this town, Carly.
Oh, well, thank you. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on here, sweetie. So many interesting things. So many races being brought together. Have you noticed? All the sea peoples, all out in force against the shark people.
Yeah. We need to take care of this hog, and for sure.
You just got to be careful. Jake leans forward again. You guys are the ones that are probably going to go on that scouting mission, right?
Yeah, probably.
Did Topaz came with them?
Oh no, I mean, where are you?
They're in the square. They're in the square. It looks like Lobu and Volan are still in the tavern chatting. I thought you were with them.
I'm in the tavern.
Okay. So yeah, Dread and Noxie and Fumblesworth are all in the square with Carly.
I kind of smile at her and I say, I'm a paladin. Careful is not in that description anywhere.
True. But see, the from what I understand, the lizard folk would very much like their home back intact. So it's like that's I think why they want a scouting mission in the first place. It's like they could probably call in Keeland, all the forces of Keeland, and simply, well, destroy the entire Jagged Cove area from the shards of the mountains down south. They could probably do that, and eventually Keeland's, government will probably want to try to do that, but that would upset the lizard folk at Dunwater and probably cause a rift between them and the other sea races, who would just see the sorry, um, and that would just probably very much upset the rest of the sea races, and they probably won't want to do business with the Keeland or salt marsh again. So
Uh, so you're expecting me to be diplomatic as well.
well, it's in assuming that you don't, you want some good stuff going on here.
So you want everyone to be happy as far as that goes.
Well, I don't think the Sahagin will be happy.
No, well, I don't want them to be happy. I want the salt marsh and the lizard folk to be happy, and the other sea
That's
races
right.
as well.
If you have a problem with diplomacy, always consider it minimizing penalties.
What's that, dear? I didn't quite hear that.
If you have a problem with diplomacy, you could also just consider it minimizing casualties.
Mm-hmm. I don't care much for the shark folk. I don't think they like cupcakes. What do you think? Do you think they like cupcakes?
I doubt it.
And Noxie, yes, you do. It'll just take a short rest.
Fumble is just like looking Carly up and down, like trying to pick apart her words. Just because she has a very unsettling feeling about her.
I just hope this is over quickly so we can get to Estivus or to Silverwing.
Oh, you're going on a trip?
If we can work up the funds.
So,
Unfortunately, we don't have the money available.
yes, and you have a ship. You can't really get to those places on a ship. Do you think so?
I'm sorry, guys. You wasted so many spells on me. But like, Noxie's now completely enamored in this stone, so she's not gonna be doing any charisma checks anytime soon.
Worth it.
She then offers Noxie a what turns out to be a kind of woody tasting, but still oddly sweet kind of cupcake that just has a bit of a mushroom on the top, kind of like what she might have had as a small child back in the Greylands. Here you go, sweetie.
Would it be... I don't know, I feel like she's trying to, like, be really nice to all of us, but there's, like, a underlying... She's not being nice just to be nice. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but Colorado just thinks she's a little grandma, essentially.
She's God. It's because she's a god. It's obvious.
Just without the Morgan Freeman voice.
She looks more like a young, very colorful woman.
Carly, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from all over, dear.
Where were you born?
That's a good question. You know, I don't think I remember.
What was your childhood like?
She thinks for a moment. Well, I used to do performances as a child. Tell people jokes. Sing, dance. People used to like that.
But you don't remember your hometown?
No, I always wondered as a child.
With your parents?
Sadly, I was always an orphan. Never really had anybody, just various people who would feed and clothe me, and that's why I got into telling stories and making jokes.
I wonder if I had a caretaker.
And by the way, the bartender is currently eyeing Lobu as he says that.
Just fill it up. Fill it up. Come on. A little more. A little more.
Yeah. But Carly just pats Noxie on the head and smiles again at Dread and looks to a little girl and a little boy who come wandering up to her cupcake stand.
And Oxy's gonna head back to the bar after thanking Carly.
You come back to a Lobu, roll me a Constitution saving throw. A still sober Lobu, who's apparently trying to get drunk, as the bartender pours Lobu another shot.
Have you guys noticed I'm getting way better at getting drunk? Or, well, not getting drunk, I guess.
Yeah, you beat me last time. It's kind of impressive. Well, it's not really impressive. Are you okay, Luke?
I don't know. Can we make it a double?
I mean, if you want to black out, I could always conk you over the head with my warhammer.
Or I could throw a cupcake at your face.
I don't know that would make me black out.
Fumble reaches into the chest, grabs a cupcake. Want to find out?
Hit me. I'm going to try and catch it in my mouth.
I'm going to hurl this cupcake.
Roll a dex check.
I have a quick question, though. Is this one of those cupcakes with, like, the liqueur frosting?
No, it just seems to be a rather nice frosting on there. I imagine it's buttercream or something along those lines.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Oh.
You have to beat a 22, though, I think, to make it past his hand.
No, you don't. No. Well, if you're trying to miss him, he's basically on trajectory to perfectly catching it, as long as it's not completely botched throw.
Like botched.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that at?
Just a dexterity attack. So just like...
You just roll a dex check. That's all you do. You roll a dex check. Not a saving throw, but a dex check. You just go over to dexterity and click the dexterity. Yeah.
Wow.
So Fumble basically rolls and she starts dropping it. However, Lobu just ducks down immediately and manages to still catch it in his mouth. The bartender claps at this. Well done. You're still sober.
For now.
Unfortunately, Lobu, it's a chocolate cupcake.
Oh yeah, I haven't had one of these yet. Or have I?
Oh no.
I thought you and Volan both didn't like the chocolate cupcakes, and you loved the fish cupcakes. Or am I mistaken?
No, that's right.
So it's like
I just spit it.
It's like, to me, I love chocolate as long as it's not dark chocolate. A dark chocolate cupcake would be, oh god, this tastes terrible. It's too. Ugh.
I just open my mouth and let it fall on the floor.
Hey, don't dirty up my floor.
Sorry. I'll clean it up. Don't worry. Ugh, though, gross. Ugh. There wasn't even a little tiny bit of fish in that.
Fumble frowns. I'm sorry.
All right, well, Carly, it was good to see you again. I'll probably see you later. I'll go back into the...
You take care of yourself, Dread. And she waves, serving the two young customers.
Once I get inside the tavern, I look at Topaz and I say, you might actually be right. Because I get a celestial feeling, celestial vibe from her, sort of.
I think Topaz is AFK. He said grabbing coffee. Or caffeine.
Noxie, what did Carly give you?
She shows you the stone, which has a smiley face on it.
What is it?
I think it's a pet rock.
Oh, look,
Nice.
it's like your stone.
Noxie writes an assignment. Special gift.
Yeah, but what is it? What does it do?
She writes an assignment. Surprise.
Noxie, are you gonna kill me in my sleep?
Please don't. This is my
Smile
body.
like immediately fades and she just like looks worryingly at you. She writes on the side, do people usually plan to kill you?
Well, I was sacrificed, so I mean, maybe.
She gets this look like, oh yeah, that's right.
On the note of stones, maybe we should talk about this really great stone that I want very much, but I think would be very good for Dread and Fumble as well. You guys want to roll dice for it?
Well, what is it?
It's an ion stone that will make you more charismatic.
Sure, let's roll for it.
Out of character, I know it won't help me any, but I think Brad would be interested.
I have no need for it, so it's entirely up to you, Fumble.
So, is it whoever gets the highest, Lobu? Is that?
Generally, that's how roll-offs go.
Aww.
Damn.
See, that used to work in my old World of Warcraft days.
Ooh. All right, then I'm going to immediately start attuning to it.
Noxie will attune to her new stone once she gets into the bar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look over at Noxie and be like, "Hey, do you think you could help me do something real quick?"
She just looks up to you quizzically.
You got a really cool stone. Everybody got really cool cupcakes, and I really wanted that stone. Could you maybe help me try and convince Lobu to give it to me?
Well, you've still got a couple minutes left on those spells cast on you, Noxie.
But do I want to use it against the caster?
That's awesome. Do it.
Noxie nods and goes over to Lobu.
Can you grab?
She holds up a sign to Lobu. I think Fumble would make really good use of the stones.
Interesting theory.
Persuasion check.
Now, my charisma is +0, so
So you have
I have advantage.
Yep, you have advantage, and you have a D8 you can add on top of that.
Mhm.
Oh! Oh my god, that is awesome! Especially with the second roll being a 1. That is awesome.
Just out of curiosity, what would I roll to fight that potentially?
Insight, I think. Lobu,
Sounds great.
you are 100% convinced that Noxie, that Fumble deserves the Ion Stone.
Take it in good health, Noxie. Way to look after your friends.
Noxie gives a thumbs up.
did not expect that to work.
The dice gods have spoken.
Okay. Fumble's just like standing there blinking. Like,
It worked.
holy shit. Thanks,
Noxie
Noxie.
just winks.
And now Fumble's going to start attuning to it.
I do feel kind of bad because some of you are rolling for it, but
I know, I feel bad too. I was banking on you failing.
Just for the
As you
humor,
guys-
and it ended up being even so much better.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
banking on you failing.
Also, something for Dread. Dropped in memes real quick.
Sorry, Lobu.
It's all good. Honestly, I mean, I want it, but I do think it would do better for you. Yeah, I think you'll do better with it.
Okay, hold on. What does it do? Now I need to look it up.
Iron Stone
Iron
and
Stone.
Charisma.
You can make your charisma 20.
You back, Topaz?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, you basically saw, Noxie come in holding a stone, Lobo holding up his stone of his fancy new iron stone, Cogsworth and Noxie basically convincing Lobo that it belongs to Fumble, and Dread is now making her way over to you and whispering and saying something to you.
You might be right. I read Carly. She gives me a celestial aura. More than
Nailed it. Told you.
God, hope. Okay.
So, an hour goes by, and the lunch crowd is in full swing. Noxie has attuned to her new item. Volan has now... Sorry, not Volan. Fumble is now attuned to hers. You guys have been drinking. Those of you who've been drinking steadily, please roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna put it like that until she says I've attuned to it. Okay?
Hmm?
I'm gonna leave it here at the 16 until she says I've attuned to it.
Oh, okay.
So don't let me forget.
You are attuned to it. That's what I just said.
Oh. I thought I was muted. My bad.
Wah.
Who? Oopsie.
All right.
Those are good, Grizz?
Yep. So Topaz,
Okay.
you are very drunk.
Yes.
The rest of you appear to be sober.
Let's go to the meeting.
Oh no.
Noxie stands in the way of all of you and holds up a sign. I've got something to show you all.
What's up?
She holds up the stone, and out of it comes a voice very similar to Noxie, and it says, "I'm Noxie."
Fumble just smiles. She's like, Noxie! Hi!
It just says, "I'm Noxie" again.
Okay, fair.
Uh,
Limited vocabulary, I see.
Does that let you talk, or does it talk for you?
I'm
Hmm.
Noxie.
I'm looking at my list of phrases here.
I'm gonna speak for you if you don't mind.
Sure.
So even as Noxie is standing there blankly for a moment, then Stone issues the words, "No, I did not steal it."
What?
And she tries to speak through it again, and it says, "Magic shit ahead."
Carly gave her the stone. It makes perfect sense.
I mean, I'm happy for you.
She writes on a card. It has 10 phrases.
Yeah, what are they? Can you go through them?
Just so we know.
Just so we know.
All right. From the top of the list that I wrote, sorry. My barrel. Look out. I'm Noxy. Thank you. Fear my strength. No, I did not steal it. Oh God, help. My food. And magic shithead.
There's no yes in that entire vocabulary.
Yes.
Or no.
Or no, or
There
or
is
please.
no, I did not steal it, but yeah. There is a thank you, however.
Do we get to pull a string on you and a phrase comes out, or what?
There's a shiv in my back.
Fumble starts looking around Noxy to see if there is a string.
There is none. I don't know why you're expecting a string. Yeah, yeah, Grizz gave this to me and she was all like, hey, you get to come up with the phrases. And I was like, oh, great. Just not, because I'm terrible at writing stuff like this, so I just
And
put
not
a
a
bunch
single
of
one of
random
them
ass phrases.
is yes
Can
or
you
no.
add more phrases?
Can you
She
replace
shakes her head.
phrases?
She shakes her head.
Nope, they're all set now.
Oh, fuck.
I got
Set in
sympathy tuning.
stone.
Yep.
We're gonna go get Aaron.
Agreed.
Slowly walking towards the door until we get out of it, and then we just run.
Going straight from one fishy situation to the other.
I'm Noxy.
And you just, as Cogsworth says that, you just hear Fumble say, once I get my own body, I'm gonna kill you!
You're gonna kill the one that gave you a body.
Figuratively.
Let's go to a meeting.
Apparently Topaz only has a limited set of phrases as well.
Before we go, something I need to do. Do-do-ba-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Right. Because we kind of need everyone to have what few mental faculties they have, I cast Lesser Restoration on Topaz.
No.
Oh no!
But drunk Topaz is a fun Topaz.
Cogdor doesn't know Drunk Topaz. Sober
And how
Topaz
are
is
you-
murderous. He's terrified of what a hungover
She-
Topaz would be.
But,
What
No,
the?
he, Cogsworth.
right, but how are we going to get to know Drunk Topaz if we don't talk?
We'll have to talk to her through jail bars if we're careful.
No, we'd have to do that if she was
Yeah,
sober.
Topaz sobriety has hit you like a ton of bricks.
God damn it! You owe me like fucking 3 gold.
Okay. Pull out 3 of the gold.
I don't want your fucking gold. I'm saying you owe it to me.
All right. Here.
Topaz, you're being a bit irrational. Do you have to go to a war meeting?
I literally just heard.
I was in a perfect mental state of mind for a war
Oh, yeah.
meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and then you,
I
Noxy
literally-
goes to Cogsworth and holds her hand out. No, I did not steal it.
How about this, Topaz? While we're on the scouting mission, we could look for another island, and you can completely fill up on spirits there.
are you being facetious?
Maybe find you a nice pale ale.
You just see the right half of this body walking away and dragging the left half with it.
Ding, shh, ding, shh, ding, shh.
You're getting a lot of stares, Fumblesworth. People are just
Alright.
kind of staring at the street. They were giving you odd glances before, but they're outright staring at you now.
All right, Fumble, let's go. I've had my fun.
Shit!
Oh,
I gotta go sober. Oh.
you know how tempted I am just to buy Topaz a whole bottle of alcohol.
Go ahead.
So, as the majority of you make your way back over to the town hall, you see that 2 lizard folk are gathering in front, as is one of the Lakatha, who just kind of turns its big eyes and blinks slowly at you as the group of you approach.
You guys going to the meeting?
Yes, very much so. The Locath tells you. I do not recognize you. What are you doing here?
Well, we basically started this whole thing. No, no big deal.
The two lizard folk turn and look at you. And they start nodding. Yeah, these are definitely the guys that that were down in Dunwater. Oh, that is good. It is good to see that everyone is gathered here. But where is Erin? I thought she was waiting here for us.
Well, it's time to get the party started.
And meanwhile, Fumblesworth is, getting up to to the docks, and seeing Erin coming, struggling out of the water, and slowly making her way across the planks.
Right.
Hi, Aaron.
And we'll rush over and support her weight.
Oh, good. I was starting to think that maybe you were going to forget about me. Thank you.
I assure you wouldn't forget about you. We simply had to uninebriate one of our friends.
Didn't
Oh.
have to. Just
I had
decided to.
We're going to a war meeting.
And even as you bring Erin back, another figure comes into view, who is familiar to everybody but Fumblesworth, the sea elf, Oceanus. He kind of bows towards Topaz and says in Aquan, "Oh, it is quite a pleasure to see you again."
Oh, yes, likewise. So, how are things here?
Progressing nicely. We are just settling in for the meeting today about organizing a scouting trip to see just how many numbers the Sahagin have now in the lizard folk stronghold. Well, the former lizard folk stronghold.
Good. Well, then the lizard folk should have a good idea of the layout.
Yes. And Oceanus gestures towards the two lizard folk up there, who kind of look back and blink for a moment. And as Erin is escorted along with Fumblesworth, you see a Locatha standing there. It doesn't have the seal with it, but it is standing there.
Look at them.
And it kind of absorbs you. And another sea elf that you've not met before, along with two lizard folk. They're all standing in front of the government building.
Hi.
Who is this other sea elf?
It's Oceanus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's to Fumblesworth, who've never met these people.
Hello.
So, are we still standing outside, or did we go into a meeting room or area?
They're the doors to the office to the government office are opening for you guys all to enter. Okay. But they're kind of some of them are staring back at you, blinking, and the Lakatha is also staring. It's with its big eyes, big soft eyes, right at Fumblesworth.
Good afternoon.
What a curious thing you are.
Don't worry, it gets worse.
At first I thought it was just lots of armor. But that
No.
isn't your entire body, is it not?
It is.
It is our entire body.
I hear
Yep.
two voices.
Yep.
Do you have two voices?
Two people.
Yep. Two spirits.
Two
One body.
people, and this is incredible.
Two worlds, one family.
Erin kind of gives a shrug, and she kind of moves on past you guys. Well, away from you guys now.
Does she need help, or does she shrug us off?
She's shrugging you off to make her way, but is by herself into the meeting room.
Okay. If it's alright, I'll stay near her in case she requests the help.
Okay.
But we'll let her move completely independent.
My name is Sakith. Me and my people and I are very much eager to join in this endeavor. To drive the the Sahagin, far away from the Gulf. That would be most pleasant.
I'm Fumble.
And I'm Cogsworth.
Hello, Fumble. Hello, Cogsworth. The Outer Gulf is home to many of my kind, but now that the Sahagin have gained a foothold, it is becoming quite dangerous.
Then let's see what we can do to make it safer.
And everyone comes in. Let's see. For Bumblesworth's perspective, you have not met any of these people. There's a human woman with silver hair, I believe. I didn't write those down on my fast notes. A kind of middle-aged woman with graying hair, cut short, and a face well sun-weathered. And she seems to be heading out in charge of this meeting, and she kind of glances over at Cogsworth. You're rather strange. Fucking tin can.
It gets worse.
Yes, it does.
And she kind of rubs the skin of her brows and kind of looks over at Topaz. Are you vouching?
There with us.
Okay. Alright then. Well, you better fucking keep him in line. And
He points at Cogsworth. Magic shithead.
And she kind of looks at you for a moment, then bursts out laughing. Found a way to get your voice. Now did you, little one?
No. 10 phrases, that's it.
Well, it's still a voice. Good
I'm
fucking for
Noxie.
you. Well, hello, Noxie. Ada.
Watch this. Noxie, did you steal it?
Noxie looks at you quizzically, and then she gets a oh look on her face, and then she says, "No, I did not steal it."
Well then, I'm glad to hear that. And she heads into
Hey, Noxie.
the meeting room.
Hey, Noxie. Is that my cupcake?
My food.
What about this barrel? Is this barrel mine?
My barrel.
I heard Topaz is mad at you.
Magic shithead?
Not the one I was thinking of.
Fear my strength.
Oh, I was hoping for you to say, "Oh God, dear, help me."
Oh dear
God,
God.
help.
Yeah.
Foxy looks like she's loving this. She's really excited, and she's holding the stone above her head.
Like the kid that got the little robot for Christmas, just hitting the buttons, getting all the voice lines to go at once.
Yes. But yeah.
Noxie, do you really think I'm a magic shithead?
She shakes her head.
Oh, okay. Great.
Sorry.
It's okay. Cogsworth is the magic shithead.
See, I have a couple of real phrases in there.
Yeah. Somewhere. Down. Way down deep. It's some normal phrases are in there.
All right, so we'll find some seats, I guess, somewhere where.
Yeah, there's a
Near the front.
big long table. Ada sits herself at the top of it. The two lizard folk flank to either side. And the rest of the entourage, Oceanus, the Aaron, and Saketh all find places to sit. It looks like Aaron was provided a seat that's more of a cushion because she doesn't have any legs, and it's trying to sit in a regular seat would be a bit awkward for her.
Foxy shows the sign to the party. Tell them I'm asleep, and then she's gonna tell them I'm blind, and then she puts her whole cloak around her as she sits down, and she's going to try to sleep.
That's cute.
Fumble is gonna look at Volan for this to make sure it's okay.
They already know she can see. Let's just go with it and see what happens.
Okay.
All right. It says, "You guys all know why we're here." They're kind of like nodding. So, and we're very happy to have you guys here. Did you have a name for yourselves? She kind of looks you guys over.
Magic shit.
Crew of the Stormy Jack.
Crew of the Stormy Jack. Yeah, that's a good name. All right, Crew of the Stormy Jack. You're the ones that went off to investigate the Dunwater in the first place and learned of what was going on. We had only been aware of the fact that there were more attacks in the recent year from the Sahagin, but a lot of it had been, swallowed up in the noise of the sea pirate attacks. Now, I guess a lot more of the Sahagin attacks were coming to notice in the 5 years since we joined up with Keelland. Became part of their fucking government instead of just a small independent village out here. But from what we understand from our new lizard friends here, that the Sahagin took their old fortress over and forced them out, and that's why they've been down in the Dunwater and are now holding it. And one of the lizard folk nods and clears their throat. Yes, our old home. Back in the why does my brain always forget the mountain names, even though I just said them 5 minutes ago? Back in the Argantha Mountains, just at the very edge along the Azure Gulf. We used to live there, and there was a waterway that underground that fed through the mountains, under the mountains, and all the way to the Dunwater. We were able to use that to flee from Sahagin when their forces overwhelmed us just over a year ago. The mountains themselves, trying to go overland, would have been too dangerous, not with the things that are up there, though. Those things typically, from what I understand, stay away from the lands of, these type of lands, the more civilized lands, as many people want to try to call them. Not that all land is civilized. It kind of gives a knowing look towards Topaz. But we do have a map for Earthland destruction. We don't know what the Sahagin might have added to it, though. We have an old, general layout, a map of how it was when we left it. From what I understand, though, they've actually managed to submerge at least 2 of the layers. And we don't know how much more has been changed down there. That's why we need scouts. Our goal is to defeat the Sahagin by knowing exactly where to hit them in there without causing major damage to the fortress itself, so that we can return home and this time better defend it, perhaps with our new allies. And he kind of like gestures towards first Ada and then towards Aaron and Saketh. With such allies, both in the ocean and on the land, perhaps we can keep the Sahagin from retaking any part of the Azure Gulf after that.
How deep is the lair?
That will be part of the scouting mission. We just know that it sank some since then. We believe that at least the bottom 2 original layer levels were submerged.
Your
Cut out
your
on that
lair
one.
sank?
Part of the fortress seemed to have sank some. Yes.
From what?
We don't know. something that the Sahagin did, I imagine. We just know that some above the sea scouting just at a distance has noticed that the fortress is down some from where it used to be. Now, here's the good news about that. It is a part of a. Sorry, my brain is fuzzy. It is part of a cove system that basically bits of rock and juts of mountains from the Arianth Mountains that just juts out into the Gulf. So it is very easy to hide yourself, especially on a small ship, or if you want in the air. I don't know if you'll have any access to anything in the air. But once you get to the rocks themselves, you might be able to hide an actual ship. But you'll need a smaller vessel to actually reach the old guard post.
And what if we have a chance at the leaders?
Well, if you actually have a chance at the leaders, I say assassinate them. It kind of rubs the skin between her hands again. Hey, I'm not fucking endorsing that. If you feel like you need to take out the leaders, take out the leaders. But you know, I'm paying you. Gonna be paying you guys for is simply a scouting mission. I'm not gonna give you extra money just because you actually fucking kill them or not. But hey, maybe these guys here will be happy if you do. And the lizard folk kind of nods slowly. I imagine the queen would be pleased and reward you, assuming you were able to come back from that.
Well, funny, when you're talking about killing leaders, I had an idea.
Alright.
Oh, here we go.
All I need are 2 bags of holding and a metal sphere with a plug in it.
Look from the 2 lizard folk. Let's see if they know what that would do. And the one still continues to look blankly at him. The other one just groans and shakes their head and says, "If you were talking about complete destruction of an area, then I would say go for
only
it."
within 10 feet.
Really? I thought it did more than that.
From what I've heard, it can scale depending on the size of the pocket. We'd have to be careful.
But 2 bags, a frame to hold them in place that would be easily broken by sufficient pressure. And the more I think about it, a cylinder or a sphere of metal sufficient to withstand the pressure until the plug on a lanyard is pulled and water then rushes in to fill the gap, at which point the pressure from the water will push the 2 bags together, creating an explosion.
That sounds like a feat of engineering. It says, whistling a bit.
It's very simple, really.
We'd have to
Design
get
is
300
very-
feet. Could conjure up a current to keep us at a distance.
Let's see, who would have a good chance? Dread and Lobu, roll intelligence checks.
Intelligence.
Sorry, that was a save. We
Yeah,
can keep the
it's
roll if you want.
close enough. Yeah, Dread, you feel a slight tickle of something in the back of your mind, but you just can't. You just can't get to it. Fumble. Also you. Actually, no. Fumble and Cogsworth. Cogsworth's a cleric. I keep forgetting that. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Both of you also roll me intelligence checks.
Just hit the intelligence.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice. Good job, babe.
19 for fumble.
All right. Cogsworth. All right.
4.
So yeah, Cogsworth. Fumble. As you're sitting there hearing this, you do see one flaw in their potential equation. The how do you keep the bag open in bags of holding and then force them together? Because you can slam two bags of holding together all the time. You know,
A simple framework, a circle, not unlike what you would use for knitting. Something to simply hold one bag open, the mouth of it open, and a light framework that could be made of wooden rods, really, to hold them facing one another.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
if
we'll
this
just
would.
yeah.
We
I'm not
could
sure if
also
this
set
would.
to- Go ahead.
I'm not sure if this would help, but I recently acquired the ability to do this, and then Lobu casts Mage Hand and picks up some item nearby,
How far away can you do that?
about 30 feet.
That would be cutting it close. That would work.
I'm willing to take the risk if it's necessary for the party.
We could also simply lure them outside and have Noxie impale them with a ship.
Well, the Sahagin are masters of fighting under the water. And they're not going to be lured by simple tricks.
I could simply remove the water. We have about 10 minutes.
roll. That's right. You just failed at that intelligence check, Cogsworth. But fumble as you're hearing that. You realize that no, that's not going to work. This is in the middle of the. If this was in a pond or maybe even a lake, maybe that would work. This is we're talking about part of a part of a bay. You can't remove enough water to do that. The spells physics just don't allow it.
No, that wouldn't work. If it were a smaller body of water, then yes, it would be possible. But I think there's just too much water, and the spell isn't.
It would be down to how deep the water was.
Yeah, the physics aren't gonna allow it to.
The range is only 300 feet, and I can't stretch it more than about 100 feet, depending on the shape.
I think
do-
we're over.
Depends on how deep they are. We don't know how far down they are.
The spell.
From the one of the lizard folk pops up with. We know that they lowered the fortress by at least 80 feet down into the water, but the fortress itself would have a lot of water in it from down there.
Like I said, if I need to, I can at least empty out the room.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Yeah. If we're desperate enough, I could empty the contents of the lair, give us some time to clear it. But it'd only be for an emergency.
I'm not confident in my ability to talk whatever sharks they have out of doing their job. Sahagin are known for their shark guards and mounts. Probably will be some there. Maybe your water spell would help take care of them. Chances are they'd be toward the outside guarding the fringes.
Mm-hmm. Something to keep in mind. Not all of us are as inclined in the water as you are.
I know, that's why I'm saying that. Because if we have to go down there and we're seen, we're not getting away. Most of you aren't getting away anyway. And if the sharks catch up, that's going to be really bad news. You don't have to have something that could catch them all or render them harmless in some way if we expect to finish the job. But either way, sharks are going to be there. I can guarantee it. And they have much better senses than even the Sahagin. If we're going to try to sneak in, we're probably going to need magical aid to do it.
Everyone can also hold on to me and I jump in. I make a mean anchor.
Well,
Don't
if we have
tell you.
Dovin with us, then we could make a
I'm
huge
thinking-
difference.
What if we just got a huge net and scooped up all the sharks?
I like it. I'm into it.
and pull it behind what? Our ship?
You want to troll the Sahuagin.
Yeah, and then you bring them up, and they're in a net. They're restrained, and then
You want to net them and stab them.
Yep.
In that order.
Yep.
I think it'd be difficult pulling that big of a net up.
yeah, but maybe if we have more than one ship.
It's a scouting mission, not a necessity.
Lobu raises his hand, and he's like, "Excuse me, foul-mouthed old lady.
Yeah,
Damn.
kind of like stares at him. Yeah?
How much of the spot do you want us to scout? Like, how much do we have to look at if we theoretically aren't gonna
Well,
fight these people?"
look, from what we understand, in addition to them fucking sinking most of that fortress, they most likely change things around in there, and who knows how many guards they have and what other capabilities they got. See, we gotta know that. See, the lizard folk here, they knew what their fortress used to look like inside. They knew some ins and outs back then, but now that it's been fucking sunk most of the way down, we got no fucking idea what's in there. That's why we need some scouts. We need
So
to
we
know
have-
what's in there.
We have to look at everything.
Yeah.
So you want us to essentially get a map as best as we can.
Well, we got a map there, and map with some general things that may or may not be there. But we need to know what's new and all that, all the new shit.
Okay, maybe the net. Because I mean, if we netted them and pulled them up, use one of
At this point, Saketh holds up one of his webbed hands and says, "Also, many of my people and many of Aaron's people here," and Aaron nods, allowing him to continue, "have been taken prisoner and enslaved by the Sahagin in the last year, and I imagine so have various people from Saltmarsh that have subsequently disappeared, assuming that they did not meet the fate of various pirates." And at this point, Oceana speaks up. You're forgetting," and says this in a kind of a broken comment. "You're forgetting my people," and looks knowingly at Topaz and Lubu, "have also been enslaved." And Aaron says, "Yes, rescuing potential slaves is something that we wish to do. So knowing how many people are still alive in there and how to get them out, that would also be appreciated."
Well, that's going to be a whole different kind of mission.
Hey, Lobu,
What up?
that mind thing that you can do,
Yeah.
you were able to speak with multiple people with it, right?
I mean, yeah. I can kind of chain us up as long as I've got. I don't know. How does that work exactly, DM?
What is it exactly you wish to know? It's the ability.
Cogsworth's-
Awakened mind thing. I was asking him about it.
Okay.
Because Cogsworth has an idea for sneaking.
All right. Yeah, Lobu just has to awaken his mind to anybody he wants.
I happen to have another
Yeah?
spell that would help us be a little on the sneaky side.
There.
Which is
Lobo would need to use his ability so we can communicate, other than Noxie, of course. But I do know silence.
That's not bad. That would definitely help with heavy armor problem.
I can also go in advance and see if I can find some dolphins. Dolphins are very good at taking out sharks. And I know there's some off this coast. Waters are warm enough. If I could get a group of those, they're intelligent more than people think. They might be willing to help us. And they're easy to work with. If you can grab a hold of their dorsal fin, they can pull along those that would be slower, as well as being weapons against sharks.
We'll need to make sure that any scouts we run into don't escape. Because then our cover's blown.
Well, and we also have to watch out for Malenti. If they have a Malenti, then that could be
What are
bad.
those? What are those?
Malenti are the Sahagan that mutate and look like sea elves. They're sometimes used to infiltrate our culture.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look at the other sea elf in the room.
There are two of them. One's Lebu and one's Oceanus.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
look at the Oceanus one. Like,
All right.
just glance.
Like just your eye just kind of as Topaz says that.
Yeah. Huh. How well do you know this Oceanus person?
Well, he was. Where did we first meet him?
Tied up in the pirate on your ship when it was still a smuggling ship.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. He was prisoner of the pirates.
But what if it was an elaborate plot to get inside information?
You've been stuck inside that body too long. You're starting to make shit up.
It's possible.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. We would have known by now.
Not if they were really good at their job.
Look, don't give the gods ideas. They're bad enough as it is.
I'm just saying, it's something that maybe we should be cautious about.
Maybe you should be cautious of not malfunctioning while we're below the sea.
You don't have to be rude.
Somebody has to.
No, no one has to.
It's a reality of life. I keep the balance.
No, you keep getting on my last nerve.
Yeah, what's new?
Guys, not during the meeting. We're in front of all these weirdos.
I'm gonna look at Lobu like the fuck.
Of all these
Like,
weirdos.
like gesture at myself. Like, really?
Yeah, man, we gotta keep up appearances. We're tough guys.
They already think I'm fucking weird, so
And we're trying to fix that. But for now, we have a war to fight.
well, I'm just saying that. You know what? Whatever, Topaz. If it turns out that I'm right and you get your ass killed, I told you so.
War to
No.
fight.
If that happens, I will be very sorry. Because I'll be dead.
War to fight, people.
Just saying. Maybe you should listen to other people sometimes.
Does anyone else have any other intel to provide to this conversation? Because I really don't want to be in a fight. Not right now.
I'm not gonna fight.
But is Topaz going to fight you?
No, I'm not. I don't have a reason to. You all fight
Cool.
yourself. I don't have to do it for you.
Exactly. I already have dents I'm going to fix when she's gone.
You know what? Fine. Since nobody wants me around, then I'm just. Fuck all of you. And you see the other eye just go blue.
Bye, Fumble.
Love or spat. Right, so anyway, Ida.
Construct.
When do we go?
Ida looks back and says, "Well, as soon as you're ready. If you think that your ship isn't going to be able to make it to the cove, we can maybe provide you with a smaller one. Keel boat. something like that.
Do I think it could make it to the cove?
Roll an intelligence check for me.
I mean, I've got that marine ability.
That means you get an advantage, and the lizard folk popped out a map of the exact location of the fortress within the area.
Can I roll my vehicle water
Yes, you may.
using intelligence?
Yes, and at advantage. You think that it could at least get to the front of the cove before you need to get on a something smaller in order to get in.
Well, something smaller could be a dolphin. Dolphins are swimming. What do you call a bunch of dolphins?
A pod?
Pod. That was whales. Are they in pods too?
I think they're in pods too. Fuck, now I have to look it up.
Whales
No.
or dolphins?
Both
What
of
is the
them,
creature
because
here?
aren't dolphins technically a kind of whale?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pod.
Okay then.
A school or a pod.
That would get us in. If we can find some of them. Otherwise, we have a longboat on the ship.
Alright.
But I'm going to guarantee right now, Sahagin have already set traps in place and alarms and guards. And if we try to go floating in there on a smaller boat of any kind, they'll know it.
Does maybe we can buy a scroll of fog or whatever?
Beneath the water.
No, but at least it would cover the top of the ship.
They won't be looking at the top of the ship. They'll be looking at it from beneath.
Fortress? By chance, is it close to the coast at all, or is it rather out in deep water?
It's almost up against the coast. The map that they're showing is directly on directly off of the Darganath Mountains inside the Azure Gulf. Basically, you've passed by it several times on your way to and from Orin. That realizing that jagged groupings of rocks coming down off the mountain hides a fortress.
Can we approach it by land? If it's so close to the coast?
That would require getting up on top of one of the up basically on top of one of the mountains. The furthest of the one that's the one that's directly on the gulf of the mountain range.
What I mean is approach it by land just and then get on a ship closer or like some kind of boat.
This
or
is
the mountain so far around it you'd actually have to hike.
Do you see the map that I still have in the Discord?
In Discord?
Yep. I posted it last week.
I'll have to scroll up.
You see that mountain? You see that jagged bit of mountains? Right underneath the blue line.
South of Saltmarsh?
Yeah, that is what we're talking about. The cove. It would be right off of that last bit of mountain right there. So basically, Saltmarsh is the closest port to any of that. So there's no boat between there and there. This is the only place you get the boat.
I was referring to the little dinghies that we were discussing. Because
Yeah.
I know there are some ships that are very light. They can be carried over. But if the mountain range is significant enough, then yeah, Cogsworth would drop it.
Yeah.
So Fumble is still listening. She's just
Thinking.
giving everybody the silent treatment. But she does kind of perk up when she hears Lobu's idea about the fog. And agrees with Topaz that, yes, they'd be looking from under. So the fog wouldn't do any good there, but she says to Cogsworth, what if we painted the bottom of the boat white? If you think about it, Sharks and dolphins have a dark top. So if you're looking down, it's harder to see them. And they have a light bottom. So if you're looking up,
Is it worth the effort to drag the ship onto land to paint it white for one mission? And that's an open to the group.
well, the group didn't hear us.
Oh, I was just saying that internally.
Yeah.
Fumble had an idea. It sounds plausible, but it'll be up to the group and everyone else. You know how sharks and dolphins have darker top, but their undersides are colored lighter to mimic the surface of the ocean?
Sure.
Would it be worth the effort to drag the ship ashore, maybe into a dry dock, and paint the hull to match to allow us to get closer?
I really don't think we have that sort of time. To pull the ship up, pay for paint, let it dry, head back out for something that might work. It's just, I really do think we're overthinking this. We're running a stealth mission. I understand there's fears, but this is all very elaborate. We usually do.
Ada holds up a hand. You know, being a longtime fisherman or woman myself, I know about how long that kind of procedure will take you. Approximately 2 days, assuming you pay someone right away.
We could always just go at night.
Do we have a way to get around the vision problem?
I mean, we could always have you swimming ahead of us.
How many of us have vision issues at night?
Just me at the moment.
If Dovin is still feeling poorly, would it make sense for you to instead take his helm? At least temporarily?
Helm?
He has a helm of underwater action or something. It gives you dark vision.
I mean, if he would allow it.
I mean, that's up to him, but I'm just saying if he's still feeling ill, it would make sense to get around.
Only with his permission. And out of character, Grizz, do you think you'd be able to get a hold of him to get said permission?
Who would you like? I'm sorry.
Volan brought up the possibility
Helm?
of
Did you
Dovin
say?
running
Oh,
of water
You're
action.
you're gonna have to go back to the ship to find out.
We'll ask him when we get there then.
Well, I guess we don't have to be in the meeting for the rest of this. It's kind of up to the crew. You guys don't mind how we get it done as long as we get it done, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely use that help. Ada confirms. Just like I said, we don't really need you guys to do anything besides scout. So I mean, yeah, maybe you're interested in causing some damage, but first off, remember that our friends here, and she gestures at the lizard folk, really want their home back. So if you can, do so without damaging that, the site, that'd be great. Finding out what exactly is down there. And, anything else you want to do there? That's up to you. But really, we just need a scouting mission done.
Fine.
Better than calling in the forces of Keeland. They would level the entire place just to try to wipe out the Sahagin, and even then, looking at the sea folk, and Aaron pipes up with, That might not even do it then, and it'll just prove that the land folk are not really to be trusted in certain delicate missions. And she kind of like gives a commiserating nod towards Topaz.
What?
Aaron kind of cringes, realizing that she might have read something wrong.
We'll just have to see when we get there. Best laid plans and all that.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you guys like to do? Looks like the Alliance folks still have some things to discuss, but you've been given meet scouting information. A map has been handed to you that shows you the location of the fortress inside the cove, along with some general information about entrances and exits. One of which is that the entrance that's now at that's now above the only one left above the water. Used to have a bridge over to the mainland, which has now been cut down because it was lowered. But there is also supposedly an entrance at the very bottom. They aren't sure if it's still there, but if it is, it marks where it is on the map.
Oh, I believe Ada was your name?
Ada, yeah.
I actually have one other thing I wanted to bring up to you for Volin or whoever else decides what to do next.
All right.
Recently, my other half and I discovered a fairly reliable way to get healing ingredients.
Oh,
Do you have...
she holds up a hand. It says, that not now for this. If you want to talk about business, well, come back to my office tomorrow when we're not discussing the Sahagan situation. If you're talking about business and shipments, yeah, tomorrow would be good.
No problem. Might be useful with war on the horizon.
Yeah, even so, we unfortunately have different other topics we need to get through.
You're fine.
Lobu's gonna head back to the ship, like pretty speedily, and not wait for the others.
All right.
Gonna go and try and get the bracelet of rock magic from Dovin.
All right. When you get back to the ship, you notice that the cabin door to Dovin's room is ajar.
Hey, not stealing anything, just coming in.
And
Dovin, you naked?
and he's not in there. The bag of holding that he usually carries with him is gone. Is there, sitting on his bed. There's a note, and there is that book that you guys found tucked in it with a sheet of paper stuck in there as well. Along with it's just the bag of holding and that book with a paper plus a note tacked onto the bag of holding.
And run up and pluck it off and start reading.
The note says, gone for a walk to clear my head. Might be gone for a long time. If I'm ever coming back, the fates will guide me. Hope to see you again someday.
Lobu's eyes fill with tears, and he's like, "God damn, old human librarian piece of shit." And then he's gonna run out to Noxie first with the note.
Upon reading the note, Noxie just kind of looks up at Lobu and walks into her. We're on the boat, right?
Yeah, you guys went back to the boat. He went there ahead of you, but yeah.
Just walks into her room and closes the door. It doesn't. It gives you back the note before she does that, though. You don't hear any sounds from the room.
Captain, we lost another crew member. It looks like.
He did seem kind of unhappy here these last few days, or at least irritated. I hope he's okay, at least.
Agreed. He seemed to be unwell.
I mean, we might see him again. Doesn't necessarily mean goodbye forever.
Agreed.
This might be too soon, but does anyone want to carry this? And I guess I'll pick up the bag of holding that he left.
And picking up the bag dislodges the book that was sitting next to it. It falls onto the floor, the piece of paper kind of spilling out.
We'll
Pick that
hold
up
on
too.
to it if no one else wants to.
How much text is on this loose page?
Hold on, I'll share it with all of you guys in 1 second. So it looks to be a translation that Dovin did of that book that you guys found in that tower. Stop lagging on me, computer. And there you go.
Yeah, if no one else reaches out for it, Fumblesworth will pick up the bag.
Oh, sorry. I thought I hit the show to players. Did that work? I think my thing is lagging.
It's not showing up on the screen, but what was it just the party treasure?
Well, there's that too. Hold on. The book from Towers should now be in everyone's handout. Sorry,
Yeah.
I kept hitting the show to players button, and apparently that wasn't working. But this is what he translated.
Hashta.
Yeah, most of the book is filled with odd symbols, with words not active written next to them. A few of the symbols have Scarlet Brotherhood written next to them. Several have Dark Knights written next to them. The following location names: Ithan, Tawala, Chult. Others have Jade Skull next to them with the following location names: Dunwater, Athos. Additional active locations: Madronis, unknown but no one has come back, and Silverwing Mountains.
Now, does this mean that we need to avoid it, or that they needed to avoid
It looks like it's just a translation of whoever wrote it, and
it? Oh, that was an out loud question to the group.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine. I didn't specify otherwise.
Hard
And
to
just
tell.
make sure-
Hard to tell sometimes in character out of character questions.
Yeah, but also this book, the Ethos Tower, was that just the tower we went to with the druids?
That was that was the island of Athos. That was
That's
a
what I
tower on
thought.
Athos Island.
Wanted to make sure.
Because he
Right.
promised to translate the book.
Dunwater sounds familiar. Where's Dunwater?
That's the place, the house, right? Danger at Dunwater.
Hush.
It's the place that the lizard folk are currently holed up in.
Mm.
And
Oh,
roll me let's see, history check. Everybody but Cogsworth Fumble because you weren't there at the time.
This isn't taught in CF class.
All right. So, Volan, as you're talking about hearing about the Dunwater, you start remembering something. You remember the first time you ran into spooky druids that were evil, and you guys had actually trailed them for a while kept sensing some sort of undead presence at the far reach of senses, and then decided to turn back.
Oh, yeah, we've run into the evil druids before back at near Dunwater. Remember following them for some time before we decided it wasn't worth it? But I think maybe that's what it's referring to.
Sounds like they're part of the same organization then as those ethos assholes. That means we've got a teleportation tower to deal with too.
That may be where they went. The ones that got away.
Yeah.
Noxie exits her room.
You see them hanging around, looking at a slip of paper and looking at Dovin's handwriting.
Wait a minute. I know it's not important now, but something to keep in mind. Ethos had a tower in it. Or had a portal in it. What was the do you have a name for the island you found me on?
Let me remember.
Because that supposedly had a as well.
Isn't it?
I think we were maybe making a mistake as far as that one goes. I don't think that one had a tower. It was watched over by the tower on Ethos.
I'm just wondering, what if we can activate once all is said and done? Fumble and I, what if Ethos can link to Silverway?
I mean, it looks like this is a location.
Those are the mountains that Fumble learned of. It could help us later.
If you're thinking about using the portal there at Ethos, we destroyed that.
There might be an active one at Dunwater, though. We have to return there. We're dealing with Wizards Folk issue now.
It's just something to think about. I'd rather them be destroyed than risk having little druids teleporting all over the Gulf. Walking is a small price to be safe.
What are silvers? Does anyone know what a silver is? Do I know what a silver is?
It could be the silver dragons were talked about guarding the Silverwing Mountains.
Oh yes.
It could also simply be their faction. Black Knights, Jade Skulls, Scarlet Imperium, Blues. But, Captain, what do you feel is our best?
I think now we need to focus on about the. This is something we can address later, but it's good to have. I think right now we should focus on what we're going to do. The Sahagin.
And a quick question as I'm looking through everything. The helm, is it within the bag of holding? Or is it not?
Whatever's in the bag of holding is in the bag of holding.
Just making sure there wasn't any notes that were missing.
Nope. That's pretty much it. That anything in the bag of holding was left here.
Okay. It does appear that he did take his helm, so it might be something worth investing in at another time.
I think he also took our ability to breathe underwater. I don't know if any of the magic users here can do that.
He had one potion for it.
We bought I bought one previously for Dread and then another for Noxie? Is that what that's in reference to, or is that in addition to the two we bought?
Within the bag, there's one bottle, one potion of water.
Right, but Noxie and Dread, you have your own individual, right?
You do, yes.
Since Dovin never put the bracelet of rock magic in the party treasure, does that mean he
Oh,
accidentally walked off?
I'm
with it?
assuming it's actually. I thought it was in the bag of holding. Sorry. No, I'm gonna
Right.
assume he actually put it back in the bag of holding, and you just found it and took it back.
Tight.
Found what? What was the item?
Bracelet of rock magic.
Hmm.
I think this is gonna come in handy.
As a player, never heard of it. Is it in the thing so I can read it?
It's in the Yawning Portal, the book. Let's see. I could probably share that if you like. Handouts.
Bracelet of rock magic? I have no problem looking it up.
Okay. There you go.
I'll
Oh,
pull
god damn it! That didn't show again, did it? Ugh. I'll set it. It's now in Cogsworth Journal, just so Cogsworth can take a look at it. Something's going wrong with show to players at the moment. I don't know what's going on here.
Fine. I just found something else that might prove useful for it. Unless he took it. Another possible magic item? But we'd have to find a druid. Darn.
I'm waiting for you to say something.
He just made a staff made of gnarled wood, and then next to it, Staff of the Woodlands, question mark?
Oh no, he took that with him, definitely.
Okay.
Sorry,
Can
is
you
that
edit it?
is that in the party treasure? I know. Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Elf slapped my shoulder, and it made me jump, knocking over the mic.
I didn't mean to. Just.
And things that are actually in people's inventories should definitely be taken off of this list.
Then by all means, feel free to edit that whenever, because I don't want to...
Yeah, I'm gonna take off the Ion Stone because Fumble has that. It's in your inventory, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
It's also currently editable by Volan, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. So the rest of the stuff is actually all in here. Okay, where's the question mark thingy? Ah, from the tower. Staff of the Woodlands. Yeah, the gnarled staff was he took that. Yeah. There we go. So if anything that's actually in your inventory can be taken off the party treasure, because if it's in your inventory, it's not in party treasure. It's party treasures for the bag of holding.
Okay. So what's the next step?
Sahagin.
Do we head out now, or do we wait for the morning?
It's going to be dark beneath the waves either way.
Actually shows a sign. Now.
I'm ready to crack some skulls.
Do you think we could talk to Carly? See if there's anything for those of us that can't breathe or see?
Might as well. If we don't have Dovin now, we're going to need something.
Yeah, I don't know how long these potions last. Probably be helpful.
Only an hour. I'm not too confident we can do that.
That's not very long.
No. Maybe Carly can help us. I suppose.
Hmm.
Can anyone cast the spell? The scroll and cast the spell?
I can cast a spell. It's whether or not I can use the scroll.
Dovin said it was low-level magic.
I know, but my magic is of a different nature. Let me look into it.
It's different for me too. I don't think I could cast it either.
As a player, I genuinely don't know how spell scrolls work.
As a G-
Has
I
to
know
be
in
on
certain
your
editions-
list.
nobody ever freaking uses them, so I never remember how they work either.
Because I know that in certain editions and certain like game mechanics, there's a difference between arcane and divine.
Yep.
But I don't know if they got rid of that or if in here
No,
it's just
there's still a difference, I believe. I
Yeah.
think.
I was wondering, is it just something that has to be on my spell list,
Yeah, I think so.
or does it have to be a divine scroll
Yeah.
or an arcane scroll?
It has to be on your spell list. In this edition, they don't differentiate unless the DM wants to between arcane and divine. It just has to be on your list.
Yeah, because I believe I know protection from poison, but I don't think I know gust of wind.
Let's see.
140.
What level is water breathing we're after?
Water breathing is like a second level spell or something.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's one I get. I can shape and control water, but I can't breathe it.
Just thinking it. For instance, if you could only cast first level spells and needed to cast a second level, I think the DC would be 12.
Yeah, it's 10 plus the spells level and ability check.
So here's the most pertinent information that you guys need for when it comes to scrolls and their use. According to the DM's guide here, a scroll is a consumable magical item. Unleashing the magic in a scroll requires using an action to read the scroll. When its magic has been invoked, the scroll can't be used again. Its words fade or it crumbles to dust. Unless the scroll's description says otherwise, any creature that can understand a written language can read the script on a scroll and attempt to activate it.
They get into more detail under the descriptions of the items themselves on page 200.
Yep.
They talk under spell scroll down in the items.
And you do also need to make a intelligence saving throw when you use it, or it results in a mishap. Don't worry, the DC is only 10, unless it says otherwise. And yes, page 200. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the save DC is actually higher depending on it. Oh no, wait, that's the save from the. Hold on. Yeah. Spell scroll bears the words. Scrolls. Spell list, you can read and cast a spell without providing magic components, which is basically means you don't. If you have the spell on your list, you can use it without having to worry about mishaps. Is the way I also interpret that. It also means you don't have to consume something such as things that require monetary things. Let's say for example you had a spell of revivify. You could use that without
diamond.
Without the diamond, that sort of thing.
Neat.
If the spells
So we
in your
don't have a
quest list bears
revivify and a diamond.
You must make an ability check. DC plus 10 plus the spell's level. Okay, and if you fail it, then you end up with a. So it's a DC plus 10 plus the spell's level, whatever the spell's level is. So you can end up with a DC of 19 potentially, versus your intelligence.
Isn't it actually their casting modifier?
Yeah. Yep.
It'd be charisma for dread.
Unfortunately, the scrolls that we have are useful as of right now.
Yeah. So if it's if it's something that you can normally cast, then you don't have to worry so much about the penalty. If it's the monk or the rogue want to try to attempt to cast a spell, then that might end up with a mishap.
But sometimes you have no choice.
Yep. But the mishaps can be fun, and that's only with the table that they provide here in this book.
As long as it's not the kind of stuff where just like, oh, you die.
Don't worry. I try not to do instant death things. They're not. They're honestly not fun. The only time I ever deal with instant death is if I actually gave somebody the deck of many things, And every time I've done that, the game
Mhm.
collapses. So it's like, no, 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 no.
Like the stuff, like the wild magic stuff, where like the fireball centered on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you're low health and it happens, okay, it sucks, but it happened.
Yep. And if you're
But
too close
some
to other
people,
if you're too close to other people, it can
yeah,
hurt them too.
yeah. But like some ways people roll fumble tables, where it's like you, your character is level 15, has spent years
Oh, here's
perfecting
the
their,
mixing potion table. I missed that.
but because you can make 3 attacks a turn, you're more likely to roll in at 1 than someone that makes 1 attack a turn. Your fumble will completely shatter your weapon, and you'll end up pro. It's like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, pretty much. When I do the effects like with the nat 1, oftentimes I'm listening to how the attack is described
Mm-hmm.
and to decide
Like
exactly what I'm
someone
gonna
goes,
do, or if like I'm seeing an opportunity to cause something funny to happen, or sometimes it's like you're shooting at somebody from a back row sort of thing, and there's a couple other people in front of you. You're rolling that one, yeah. Maybe if I'm in a generous mood, all you do is break your bowstring. If I'm feeling like I need to up the ante, it's going to shoot into the person in front of you and hurt them. Or sometimes I warn people like that ahead of time. It's like, okay, you're behind a couple of people. If you miss the shot, you might hit the person in front of you. But usually I only do that if you roll too low. But yeah, I have yet to break somebody's weapon completely. It's like, snapped bowstring, snapped other thing. That's just par for the course. That's the type of weapon those are. Those just take fixings. But completely shatter a sword, not unless it's been eaten by acid recently, or unless
like a rust monster sort of deal.
Yeah, or something like very intrinsic to the scene, or but I've yet to have that happen. So, but like I said, it would be something that thematically would make sense if it did, if you know what I mean. Like if you're reading a story and somebody messes up completely like that, you would expect their weapon to break.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. All right, now that we've had that scroll overview,
so shall we head out tonight?
Let's go talk to Carly, see if she's got a scroll for us, and then yeah, I'm ready to roll.
If we time it right, we can get there right as darkness falls.
Let's make haste then. Does anyone want to go with me to Carly?
Yeah, I'll go with you.
As will I. Oh, Volan?
I should do.
Volan, I'm sorry, out of character, you cut out. I didn't hear a word you said.
I said I should probably too.
You said you should probably go to? You're joining
I should
us?
probably go as well, yes.
Okay. Also, something just occurred to me as a player. Volan? Should I be the one carrying all of the funds?
Do you not think you should be the one?
I have no problem with it, but this is the group's. I want to make sure it's okay.
I mean, does anyone else have a problem with it? I really steal from the parties. If there aren't objections, yeah.
I'm just glad as long as Noxie's not holding it. Huh? Trying to elbow her.
Spend it all on cupcakes.
No, I did not steal it.
Yeah. And then Lobu's gonna just like book it for Carly's fish cupcake stand.
I'll jog. If that's a deer.
Yep.
Fumble.
You get back.
Can I jog? Sorry, go ahead.
As you get back to the center of, the town square, the market area, you do discover that the cupcake stand seems to be empty of cupcakes, not empty of Carly. She is behind the stand. She has her bizarre cupcake making contraption out and seems to be making another batch of cupcakes.
Carly.
Carly spins around and smiles wide. Hello, Lobu dear. Oh, how are you?
Well, honestly, lost another friend today, but
Oh,
that's
and she puts a hand over her mouth. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. She reaches a hand out and clutches his hand. What happened?
Delvin left, and he
Oh,
just left a note.
oh, he only left. Oh, I thought you were saying he may have died. Oh, and she puts a hand over her heart. That just made me feel terrible.
Sorry to give you a spook, but
Oh, it's okay, dear.
I don't know what that old man thinks he's gonna do out there alone.
Maybe
Apparently, take a walk.
maybe he's got a lot on his mind. And taking walks are good for you. Seeing a bit of the land. That's what I do. I love seeing the land.
Anyway, we need something. We need to be able to breathe underwater. Delvin used to do that for us, but
You want some potions of water breathing, or you interested in something else?
a scroll would be best, I think.
Scroll of water breathing. You know what? I could probably do that. And she reaches into one of her many bags and pulls forth a scroll. Here we are, all nice and neat.
How much?
For you, my sweet, sweet Lobu, she thinks. Let's see, only about 3 of your companions actually need to breathe underwater, or is it only 2 of them?
I think it's only... Wait.
Noxie, Dread, and Volan.
Alright then, 3. Still, how about you pay me 50 gold, and I will give you this nice, neat scroll tube with a scroll inside.
Works for me.
And to
I,
verify, this is a water breathing, right, Carly?
Yes, of course it is. What else would it be?
Just making sure. Thank you, Carly.
You would never buy from me again if I did that to you. Why would I sell you something that wasn't the right thing?
I was just making sure. Sometimes people get confused.
Oh, don't worry about it, sweetie. I don't get confused.
I'm glad.
And she smiles and then winks at Volan.
50 gold, you said?
Yes, 50 gold.
Do you mind if we kind of pull that out of the group? Nice. I'm looking at my own gold and I don't have that, so that's just again.
Didn't we split up?
Well, we calculated splitting it up, but I don't think we ever actually went through the process of putting it in everyone's inventory. Because it's still in the party treasure.
Oh. We're gonna have to figure that out, because I've got a bunch of gold in my inventory.
Yeah. I think I already added it to mine.
I'm sure it's in the chat history somewhere.
Yeah,
But Cogsworth as a character also doesn't need terribly much. It's not like he eats.
yeah, I'll give Carly the 50 gold.
If it's all right, Volan, do you think we could ask her about the helm?
Yeah, I suppose. Carly, would you happen to have? We found this type of helm, a helm, underwater action or something, or maybe something. Our friend here see in the dark.
I've also heard of a set of goggles that can do a similar function.
Is that something you would like? She goes to another to another bag.
They would be in the please let me be more like a sea elf department. Just look over.
And she smiles at Topaz and winks at her. Oh, yes, yes. They are most certainly jealous of your perfections.
It's a burden.
Too much salt.
I've learned to live with it.
At least one of us has.
Hey, while you're looking, you got any bracers of defense laying around?
Bracers of defense. Somebody
Apparently,
instinct
they're at a
constantly
premium.
beeping, by the way. Let's see.
What'd you
if I
say,
ha-
Grizz?
I keep hearing beeping in the background. I think somebody's thing is on low power.
No, my phone keeps vibrating for.
Ah.
But the messages Volan is sending.
Oh, okay. So she pulls
I'll
out.
get my phone off the desk.
That's cool.
What messages is Volan sending?
She pulls
Took a
out.
pic from the other session if we wanted to split it up, including the ship and Dovin.
Oh, okay. Thought you were getting like, sexting going on there or something.
Fuck that. I am engaged.
So she pulls out a pair of goggles of the night and sets them down on her currently empty, otherwise empty purple cloth that's on her countertop, and goes rummaging through another bag. Bracers of defense.
We'll do them first. I can wait.
And somebody said something about a helm of underwater action. Is that right? Let's see if I have one of those. She taps her chin. So, did you want these goggles of the night or not? She asks, looking out at the rest of you.
I would appreciate them, if that's all right.
Yes, of course it's alright. It's alright by me.
Captain? Sound good to you?
I do not appear to have a helm of underwater action at this time. Just curious. But I do have bracers of defense. I believe that's what you wanted, right, sweetie?
Yes, sweetie, that's what I was looking for. And how much are you asking for those?
She laughs. Well, let's see. Do you have anything interesting on your person? As much as I like gold, I do enjoy some rather unusual items, shall we say? Do you have anything interesting?
I will drop the periapta wound closure on the counter.
That's not too unusual, unfortunately. I do have one of those.
I don't believe they're magical, but I do have some trinkets that we pulled from a dragon's lair.
The ones you didn't already sell?
Yeah. Unless they were sold when I wasn't around and they just stayed in the treasure, I would pull out the animal figurines of the giraffe and the...
Yeah, the animal figurines come as a set.
I was thinking, she seems that interesting, and Cogsworth thinks something pulled out of a dragon's lair is interesting.
That's just true. So she looks at them. Those look nice, but they look kind of like children's toys.
I don't have items, but I am very good at tattoos.
Ooh, that could be fun.
And I will point by way of example to the ones that I've done on Volan.
I'm already flexing the muscles.
All of which are very good.
Oh, those do look nice. She thinks, and then she looks over at Lobu. Do you have any tattoos, sweetie?
I've got this one. And he pulls up his sleeve and shows the less good version of the anchor.
So she already uses you as a well, a test canvas, I say.
She does really good work, though.
I've heard tattoos can be enchanted.
Yes, that is true. But you don't have that skill quite yet, do you? That's something you're aiming for, yes?
Oh, I don't know that I would ever have that skill. I'm no spellcaster, but I think my work might lend itself well to being enchanted
Hmm. That
if I
is
had the proper ink.
that is
I
true.
used dragon ink on that latest one on Bolin over there.
Dragon ink. Now that's intriguing. And Carly steps around from her her counter and starts looking Volan over. Let me see.
Hmm. I'll kind of. I'll show her my arm with the tattoo, the green dragon tattoo that Toby did.
And is this made from dragon blood? She kind of taps and runs a finger over the tattoo.
Is that the one I did with the dragon's blood on you? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the one.
And sure, you can say that, Cogsworth.
My memory is very foggy on it. I'll have to do some experimenting when we have the time. But I vaguely recall a recipe I came up with years ago to craft the ink that wizards use for scrolls. It could possibly be adjusted for making your tattoos and infuse magic within it.
There you go.
Now, you will, of course, need some kind of interesting medium in that ink. Like the dragon's blood here, or some very rare gems powdered, perhaps?
That's what I was thinking. I don't have the time to tinker with that quite yet, but it's an idea.
Yes. And she reaches over and pats Lebu's hand. Well, I imagine he might be able to help in some ways with that. Or, and she kind of reaches over and pats the side of the Warforged's face that Fumble controls. Or you, sweetie, if you feel up for it.
Fumble as a player lay down for a moment. She has a splitting headache.
Oh, I'm sorry
Can
to
you
hear
repeat
that.
that? Well, I'm going to change the audio real quick and switch to push to talk just so she can hear. Give me a sec and you'll be able to repeat that.
Okay.
You're fine, dear. Go ahead.
Okay. She pats the side of the cheek that's controlled by Fumble and says, and perhaps you can do that too, dear.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I just had an issue with the internet again.
She basically just said that, suggested that Fumble can also do that.
The enchanting?
Yes. The ink enchanting. Or rather, the enchanting for tattoos.
With all of Carly's knowing things, does it seem like Carly knows a bunch of stuff she shouldn't know?
Insight.
I've got everybody suspicious of her now.
Not Cogsworth.
She is very well traveled. And when you travel, a lot, you do pick up things.
Does it remind me at all of I forgot, Claire?
Well, Claire talks, is very exuberant and all that, but Claire seems to have a strange manner about her that isn't exactly the same as Carly's manner. Though, they do have some things in common. Maybe that's what you're picking up on.
I had a quick question.
Yes?
The little skull figure thing, is that in the bag, or did Dovin take it with him? Because I believe it was attached to a quarterstaff.
There's more than one. One of them is attached to the quarterstaff. That's definitely in the bag. There's also one that was like I think pulled off of something else. Like I think it was pulled off one of the trees. So both are in the bag.
I will pull the unattached one out, and I will go ahead and mention it to Carly. We actually took this off of Ethos from a group of druids. It apparently repels wraiths.
Fascinating. He accepts it. I don't think I've seen this before.
The druids were not the best of people.
Swap you the scroll for it.
Would that be all right, Captain?
Fine with me.
That works for me.
And would we be able to purchase the goggles and the bracers? Or were you still looking for alternate?
I'll also give you that for the goggles. She grins. The bracers are a little bit different in matter. Besides, that's with Topaz here. And she looks at Topaz firmly. So what about it? How about it? Is there something that you wish to offer?
Like I said, I don't really have anything more besides my skills and talents. I don't have very many items to spare.
Do you think
see you guys?
Take care. Do you think you can? I need to go to soon as well. I didn't sleep well last night, and I've still got stock on the stove that I need to cool off before I go to bed. Do you think you can tattoo this one? And she gestures at Cogsworth.
I'm not sure. He's made of metal, isn't he?
Yes.
I don't know if the ink would take, but I wouldn't mind an etching.
An etching. Do you think you can do an etching?
Yeah, that's not quite the same skill wheel set. That's engraving on metal is an entirely different skill.
This is true.
You don't use ink for that.
This is also true.
Does your skill with the needle translate to embroidery?
Yeah, I never really got around to doing much embroidery, I don't know, under the sea.
I mean, you had to make your clothing somehow.
Yeah, it's called seals.
So you just cut off the fins and stuck your hands through the holes?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Pretty
sure.
Bare ass in it right now.
Yeah, Topaz is barely wearing any clothes. I mean, she's nearly naked compared to Lobu.
I've never gotten this description.
Yeah, Topaz, you might want to describe yourself to Cogsworth.
Sealskin thong and halter. There you go.
And that is all of what Topaz is wearing.
Weapon bandolier and some scant jewelry.
Yeah. Your clothing was never described to me. I assumed that you were wearing less, given that you're a monk, sea elf, and your character doesn't seem like not horribly loose, but not the most modest type. You're very straightforward.
She doesn't care about
modesty. I assumed at least something. Yeah, I assumed at least something would have been stitched.
Yeah.
Given that seals aren't built like aren't built like humanoids.
Yeah, we stitched the sealskin with sinew. But that's not the same as engraving metal. What are you getting at?
I was thinking if your skill with a needle translated to other crafts, you could put a design on my tabard.
So for the quality that would be worth magic, I'm not sure about that. I mean, I could try it. We're talking about, do I have the ability to create a masterwork in that? I don't know.
maybe Fumble would be willing to get some kind of tattoo when we get her body back.
Sure. Though she doesn't like me. Is she going to be a bitch of a patient?
I assure you, she'll be able to handle it. She's been through enough pain.
Okay.
Also, out of character, she has a tattoo on her thigh all the way up to her hip, about the diameter of a volleyball.
Alrighty then.
Wow.
So as a player, yeah, she can take it.
Nice.
We haven't gotten the color done yet, just because money and everything that's going on. But it's the owl and the 13-hour clock from the Labyrinth, with all sorts of swirly designs around the wings to make it look like it's mid-flight.
That is cool.
Yeah, she'll get a picture at some point posted for you guys. It looks great. The line work is perfect.
This explains all the quotes we did back and forth a couple sessions ago in another the Sunday game.
Goblin King, take the debut far away from.
No, but it was also that was like the previous session when we were running through that maze.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
All right. Now,
Did Carly ever give a cost for the goggles, or did she say that was okay for the that the skull was for both the scroll and the goggles?
she was trading the. She thought the scroll was sufficiently interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Liv is dressed like a land person. Nobody thought to ask where he got those clothes from. Yeah, I'm also afraid. I said I'm gonna have to call it quits, even though it's kind of in the middle of things, just because I've got stuff I unfortunately have to do for a little bit now. But if Libu thinks of something, you can also get in touch, between sessions, and we can work out for those bracers.
Okay.
If that's okay. For the rest of you, it was a fun session, and I'll see you guys hopefully next week.
Yeah.